/4VICTIMS.
From the Ingalls Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart radio station.
Live from the Ingalls Studio,
I can't wait to play with myself every day.
the Sportsocracy.
Damn the devil to hell! Let the big dog eat! Let him on the field!
Come get you some of this.
Fire them cannons. By golly, put more powder in those things.
He couldn't take any more disappointment.
Oh my God. The Jets killed him.
And welcome into the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. The Sportsocracy is heard everywhere you go on the iHeart Radio app, and we are seen everywhere on YouTube. Just go to thesportsocracy.com, click the live video link, subscribe to the channel, and join us in the chat for
Overreaction Monday.
There's a lot to overreact to today.
Well, one of them is I'm not supposed to be here right now.
What? Well, I mean, look, sometimes things happen, right?
I sat down at Mullet Manor this morning. I was fully planning on just doing a show in my underoos, and I plugged everything in, and power's out. Oh, okay. That's not awesome. Okay.
Would you have a circuit breaker blow or something?
No, the power is good in my house.
Well,
I think I had a surge at some point because our water went off at one point last night, which is weird.
That is strange.
But yeah, the thing that runs all of the audio and all that, it was
dead.
She's dead.
Yeah.
D-E-D dead.
Well, that's always fun to find out.
So I had to quickly run over here, and yeah, it's been a morning so far.
And we're glad that you're with us here on this fine, wonderful. Yeah, I mean, 54 degrees. It feels like summertime outside compared to what it has been.
Well, it's very warm in here because at iHeart Asheville, we only have two speeds.
It's cold.
Freezing or hot as hell.
Yes.
That's it. There is no in between. It will be 62 or 82 in every studio. I've been in 3 of them in the last week.
And it seems like either it's freezing cold or it is super hot. Can't find the medium. But, what do they say? First world problems, right? People out there that have it worse than us. We like to remember those people here during the holiday season. And, of course, we welcome everybody into the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM. It is an Overreaction Monday. We had the Super Bowl preview between the Buffalo Bills and the Detroit Lions.
Are you sure? Because at this point, I think Detroit's about one more bad week from asking me if I can still lace up the old cleats and play linebacker.
Yeah, I mean, it will be, if they do it, right, if they make it that far, it will be the greatest story of perseverance.
Well, the offense is fantastic. The defense is a mash unit unlike anything I have ever seen before.
And when you go up against a team that doesn't punt, like the Buffalo Bills, it's kind of hard to win games.
Oh, what is today?
Today is Overreaction Monday.
There you go.
Okay.
So I guess we should start with a great overreaction.
Okay.
The favorite to win the Super Bowl right now is the Buffalo Bills, and you will not convince me any different.
No, you are correct. It should be. Is that the Vegas favorite right now? Because it should be.
If it's not, you're probably getting ready to hear me make a live wager on air on the DraftKings Sportsbook.
I mean, how can you look at all of the teams right now?
The Buffalo Bills are actively the favorite.
How could you look at any other team in the NFL right now and say that they're better than the Buffalo Bills?
You can't.
The Bills may not be able to keep you off the scoreboard. Right? When you look at a 48-42 ball game, the first thing that comes to old school fans' minds is, oh, wonderful. Look, nobody plays defense anymore.
Defense was optional.
Right. I mean, games like that are fun. But the fact that Buffalo controlled that game the way that they did, I mean, it really was. I mean, yes, Detroit had a chance, but it was the snowballiest of snowball chances that they were going to win that game.
For sure.
Because, I mean, they had to score. They had to get the
It did
onside.
start feeling like, uh-oh, when the onside and everybody was underneath that pile, and you go, if Detroit's got this ball, I'm not real sure that you could stop them from scoring in a minute.
But honestly, I don't believe that Buffalo is that team. I don't believe that Buffalo. That game didn't surprise me. How about that?
It didn't surprise me at all.
It didn't surprise me at all because I don't think either of these teams have shut down defenses. They have defenses that can just make that one play that kind of tips it in their favor. And if you can score with them, then you're going to make it look interesting like Detroit did last night. If you can't score with them, they're going
the vast
to
majority
your
of you
face.
can't.
No, absolutely not.
Oh, I now this is a little biased because I've already asked Tank this trivia question. As of yesterday, there are now 4 teams in the NFL that have not scored over 30 points in a game this year.
Mm-hmm.
The Las Vegas Raiders, the New York Giants. Who was the third one? It was a terrible team. I do remember that much.
Yeah, I don't remember.
New England Patriots.
New England Patriots.
And the Kansas City Chiefs. They've scored 30 twice, but they have yet to score more than 30. Meanwhile, I'm looking at the Buffalo Bills going, you better learn to score because they are going to score on you.
And if you can't outscore them, then you really don't have much of a chance. Because they haven't shown one iota of letting up.
No.
This team does not have that gear in them. It does not appear.
Josh Allen to win MVP right now, the odds are what?
Josh Allen is minus 375.
You're entirely too low. He's minus 900 to win the MVP.
Holy cow. I didn't think it would be that big. Okay. All right. I mean, I was trying to be conservative on that. I mean, it makes sense. Nobody's really chasing him down.
Mm-mm.
Right, Lamar, if you wanted to make the case that Lamar's 5 touchdown passes yesterday were a statement for an MVP run, it typically would be.
Except you're playing the Little Sisters of the Poor that have Giants logos on their helmets.
Right, but I say the same thing I say every time Saquon has a big game or had a big game because yesterday wasn't a good day for him. But Josh keeps doing what he's doing to keep himself ahead. So even if you think that yesterday pulled Lamar back into this race, it didn't.
It didn't.
It didn't because Josh ended up with another, 4 touchdowns combined?
Yes. He was practically flawless yesterday. He had a 95.3 QBR. Got absolutely nailed on the sideline at one point and just got up like, I'm fine. I'm good.
I hope.
You good? I'm good.
I hope above everything else that if he does do it, right, which is a pretty foregone conclusion right now. Vegas wouldn't have a minus 900 on this if they didn't think that it was pretty foregone conclusion that Josh Allen's going to win the MVP. That it also comes with a damn Super Bowl trophy. Because I mean, we're getting back to that ultimate letdown spot for Buffalo Bills fans.
Josh Allen is 8th in the NFL in passing yards. He's 6th in the NFL in passing touchdowns. He's only thrown 5 interceptions. And he's tied for 7th in rushing touchdowns. Yeah, he's going to win this in a landslide. Yes. And if he doesn't start turning the ball over, which is always a fear with old Joshy Rowe, you're not beating him.
No.
You're not. You're not going to beat this team. Because the defense has been flat out bad. Bad. Doesn't matter.
Mm-mm.
But they lost to the Rams, a pretty decent Rams team that was absolutely desperate because they were looking across at Seattle. I think they already knew what we're just figuring out now. Oh, yeah, Seattle's not very good. So if you give us a shot to win or go home the last week of the season, it's called desperate. Desperate teams are really difficult to play, especially when you're an East Coast team that had to go west. You're playing at what feels like 7:30 at night, and you've been on a schedule where you're eating breakfast for 2 days super, super early. It's not easy. Buffalo's the best team in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
I still would put Detroit at 2.
Yes.
And then we get into Philadelphia and Kansas City.
Mm-hmm.
If it wasn't for the fact that I've seen you do it, I would not believe your ability to do it. But here we are.
Kansas City keeps winning games. As long as they keep winning games, 13-1, you can't really doubt it. I mean, the fact that they are one of the only four teams that have not scored more than 30 points in a season this year. I mean, how do you see that? It's all in the beauty is in the eye of the beholder, right? I mean, it's not pretty by any stretch of the imagination. Is this pretty? What the Kansas City Chiefs are doing?
I look at Kansas City and go, you can beat any team in the AFC except Buffalo. Buffalo would have to, in some shape, form, or fashion, beat themselves. I get it. It's Kansas City. You see that logo, you just know. And I'm not telling you Kansas City's not good. I would say they're the second best team in the AFC. They play Baltimore, I'll take Kansas City.
Mm-hmm.
They play Pittsburgh, I'll take Kansas City.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking at what Josh Allen is doing as this is like Aaron Rodgers' Falafel U Tour circa 2020 of you're not going to stop me. I'm going to do whatever I want whenever I want to. And it doesn't matter that Amari Cooper has been completely irrelevant with Buffalo. I'll do it with Khalil Shakir and Dalton Schultz, or not Dalton Schultz. I always do this.
Dalton
Kincaid and James Cook. Doesn't matter. I'm going to run it down your throat. James Cook's going to run it down your throat. And then we're going to pepper in some Ty Johnson and Ray Davis just for posterity's sake.
Just to tick off all the fantasy football owners out there.
I will say Buffalo is really infuriating.
Yes.
Although, as a guy that are you still alive in any fantasy playoffs?
Yes, I am.
I missed the playoffs by a tiebreaker in a league that I set my team up for playoffs in a standard PPR scoring. I had 255 points yesterday.
Wow.
I would have beaten every matchup in the league except one. And I'm playing in the consolation bracket, which just makes me like, I was talking infinite amounts of shenanigans.
Ain't that always how it goes?
Hey, you really want to be champion? You play me in week 18 because I will mush your face.
So you ended up being, what, the 5 seed?
Yeah.
In that? Yeah. I think that's how our we did a new like iHeart group like regional contest, and you made the playoffs in that one.
I did. I need Sammy D MVP tonight with a little DJ Moore, a little TJ Hawkinson. I got somebody else playing tonight.
I just barely missed out. I was the 5 seed in that one.
Well, that's a good time to point out. Hey, Tank, battle for the belt, first round of the playoffs was this week.
Was it?
Who you think won that first one?
Oh, was it you?
You're rating, defending, and I didn't just beat you. I mushed you. I was shocked how few people had just really leaned on Detroit Buffalo. I was in dead last at 5 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
And I just sat back and went, I told Amy, I was like, watch this. Because I know what I have left. I have no idea what they have left. Here I go.
Right. I'm getting ready to clean house.
Patrick Holt led the entire day.
Until he didn't.
And then I showed up.
Well, I mean, it helps to have all of the important pieces, or some of the important pieces anyway, to one of the most offensive games of the season. We had over 1,000 yards of offense in that game. You had 90 points scored between the two teams. Bills and the Lions, they said it was your Super Bowl preview. And I still feel like if that was the Super Bowl preview, I'm completely fine with it.
And if it wasn't for Detroit just being killed, I would agree with you. I don't know how you get past it. They're playing guys now that I actively do not know who they are.
I don't either. But here's the thing. So if we never want to project injuries, right? We never want to project the bad things that can happen in this league. But say that they fell off, and then you look at the rest of the top of the NFC. Do you not think it would give you as thrilling of a game? Do you not think that Buffalo, Philadelphia would be just as thrilling, especially if Jalen Hurts and the passing game maybe take the step after this game that they had? Right, I mean, you had both AJ and Devontae Smith had great games.
We do need to talk about Philadelphia.
Yes, we will.
We have a lot of Philadelphia Eagle listeners that listen to this show.
But the major thing here is if it's not Detroit, Couldn't Philadelphia score a lot of points against Buffalo and make it interesting down at the end?
I don't think so.
Really?
I think if you're telling me you get into Pistols at Dawn with Josh Allen and you're bringing me Jalen Hurts, yeah, sorry, I'm not real impressed by that.
Minnesota
But look how many yards he threw for yesterday. I verbatim told you that was coming on Friday.
Yeah.
I screamed from the mountaintops, A.J. Brown is the easiest decision in the history of fantasy football. And guess what? I was right.
Mm-hmm.
Because Pittsburgh's not as good as you think they are, especially in the secondary. And as soon as T.J. Watt wound up on the sideline, shoo, buddy, it's about to get ugly. And it did.
Minnesota couldn't score with them? See, I'm not saying they'll beat them. Because I agree with you.
I think
right now it's Buffalo and a gap.
At this point, the team that comes out of the AFC is going to have played more tough games and will be more seasoned going into a Super Bowl. I think every team in the NFC is flawed. Detroit's flaw is that they are killed.
Mm-hmm.
Philadelphia's flaw is Jalen Hurts, with a little dash of Nick Sirianni in there. He has not been as big of a headache as I anticipated, which just, in my estimation, means you're due. You're due for that. What in the world are you doing? Then you get into Minnesota, Green Bay, the Rams, Washington. You're all dangerous in your own little way. Mm-hmm. But do I think you're winning 3 of these games? No. No. I saw a meme the other day that said the Super Bowl, this is the Super Bowl we want. And it was a picture of the outside of Ford Field with the Bills logo and the Lions logo. And then what we're actually going to get was the Eagles-Chiefs. Please no. I don't ask for much. I really don't want that to be my first Super Bowl. I do not want to have to watch that again.
Mm-hmm.
We have 2 Super Chats as we head into the break.
All right.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money. Money, money.
From our buddy and Denver Bronco fan, Soaring Eagle, said, "Hey, Buffalo Bill fans, how'd you like to recreate that 70 burger from last year in the first round against his Denver Broncos?" I don't think I've ever seen a more upset fan in a win than Soaring Eagle was. He texted me at probably 5:30 and said, "Well, going 8-9." And then Anthony Richardson did that thing Anthony Richardson does. First of all, I don't know what that little double rail was. Hey, we're going to throw one back to A.D. Mitchell. He's going to throw one to Anthony Richardson. You need to take that play and set it on fire.
Nick Benito
Nick Benito went, "Yep, I think I got it.
Yep.
Think I know what's coming here. Just stay far enough away. Wait for it.
Go!"
Buffalo would hurt Denver's feelings quite badly in the playoffs.
Yes.
Don't know if it'd be 70 points bad. It could be, though. And then one more.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money. Money, money.
From Eamon Report, who said Joe Brady is getting a head coaching gig in 2025. I agree with you.
I don't think there's any way
In
around
an
it.
offensive league, name me the number of offensive guys. Ben Johnson's the obvious. Name me 2. Cliff Kingsbury.
Yeah, that's probably 2.
Joe Brady's 2 for me, but with a bullet.
Yeah. Kellen Moore would probably be up there on that list, but not above
pass.
any of the ones we'd already said.
I'll pass. I'm good on Kellen Moore.
Yeah.
I've read this book. I don't want to. Which means he'll probably be the next head coach of my New York Jets because we're dumb.
Nah, that's Joe Brady.
We fired Joe Douglas to hire John Robinson. That's fun. It's fun. Love my team. Love the pain that they put me through.
You're in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville 92.9 FM, 880 AM at 1400. Overreaction Monday continues after this.
You can make it a December to remember with Asheville Smiles Cosmetic and Family Dentistry and take the steps to get the smile that you want for the new year. On December 19th, they are having an Invisalign scan day. You stop in for a free simulated 3D scan that shows you how your teeth could look after Invisalign treatment. And then if you choose to move forward with your smile makeover, you're going to receive $1,500 off treatment. It it makes it the best price on Invisalign in North Carolina. To find out more and reserve your spot at the event, visit AshevilleSmiles.com today. Again, it's AshevilleSmiles.com.
Experiences make life more meaningful. And with MasterCard's Priceless.com, you can immerse yourself in unforgettable experiences in dining, sports, art, entertainment, and more in over 40 destinations. From a round of golf with a legendary player to a cooking class with a celebrity chef, you can feel your passions and create lasting memories. Explore experiences today at Priceless.com, exclusively for MasterCard cardholders. Terms and conditions apply.
Life is short, and if we spend our time suffering with pain and it takes away our joy, that's not a very good way to live.
He's right. It's hard to be happy when you're in constant pain. QC Kinetics patient Chad admits the chronic pain in his knee really robbed his quality of life.
When I was going to the traditional doctor and getting the pain pills, my smile wasn't as big as it usually is. Going to my high school reunion on crutches, it was awful.
But then Chad visited QC Kinetics. He experienced the real power behind natural regenerative treatments. Using healing properties from his own body, QC Kinetics was able to restore and repair damaged tissue, finally giving Chad lasting relief with no drugs, no surgery, and no downtime.
And I'm feeling on top of the world because of QC Kinetics.
Learn how advanced regenerative medicine can help your body heal itself at QC Kinetics. Call now for your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 828-333-9517. That's 828-333-9517. 828-333-9517.
Christmas.
Hurry, they're going to be up soon.
When families and communities come together in the spirit of peace on earth and goodwill towards men.
Operation Silent Night and Still on the Fence. Okay, we're ready.
At Ingalls, we know that Christmas isn't just a holiday. It's a feeling to embrace all year long. Ingalls, your neighbor for over 50 years.
This is J.W. Whitley, General Manager at Parks Ford of Hendersonville. Our purpose, to improve lives with every interaction. Nominate your Parks Community Hero today at parkscommunityheroes.com. Like Trent and Doug, whose first instinct was to fill their trucks with supplies and drive to the hardest hit areas in those first hours. Like Eric, who hosted the football team to support their neighbors and begin the cleanup efforts. Nominate your Parks Community Hero today at parkscommunityheroes.com. That's parkscommunityheroes.com. Experience the Parks Promise today at parksfordhendersonville.com.
When you get tired of freezing your can at the tailgate, maybe it's time to ring in a new season. Tailgating season. Wherever you are, whatever the forecast, with good old ale, it's the perfect way to kick off game day. From Red Cup Revelry to just kicking it solo, you can't go wrong with Dale's Pale Ale, Dale's Light Lager, and Dale's Easy IPA. Honest ingredients, no BS. Drink responsibly, and we'll see you at the Tailgate.
The Sportsocracy.
What are you people? On dope?
We are back in the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville. It is 92.9 FM, 880 AM, 1400, and Overreaction Monday. The Buffalo Bills and the Detroit Lions. So the Lions had more injuries yesterday.
Carlton Davis, done for the year.
Yeah.
Willie McNeil, done for the year.
Oh, no.
Just came out 10 minutes ago. David Montgomery tore his MCL, done for the year.
Oh. How in the
I don't
world?
ever want to hear another team tell me how hurt they are unless you can duplicate this Lions lineup here.
That is insanity. This will be like the 29th guys, like 27th, 28th, and 29th guys to just be done for the year. They had 18 on the IR, 2 weeks ago? They lost 2 last week. They lost another 4 this week. How do you keep this going?
They have so many guys on IR. If you go to ESPN and pull up their depth chart, they can't put every guy on the defensive line that they have on IR on the depth chart. They ran out of spaces.
It's absolutely brutal.
It's insanity.
And it speaks to coaching. To me. How can you do
elaborate
that?
on that.
How can you have this many injuries, lose this many pieces over the course of the season, and still put a winning product on the field that everybody
That is
fears?
Totally not where I thought you were headed with that. I thought you were blaming Dan Campbell for the fact that they've had so many injuries.
No. I'm saying,
and I've heard people do that.
I mean,
well,
what,
this is what
because he
happens when
pushes
you're a
them?
kneecap biter and blah 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 blah. blah.
No, I mean,
Well, no, and this would be my counter argument. This would be the reason that you can trot out guys like Quan Alexander and Jamal Adams because it's culture.
Yes.
Because, and I'll be honest with you, injury-wise, am I worried that they can't win a Super Bowl? Yes.
You should be.
Would I still take them over Philadelphia? Also, yes.
Yes.
Also, yes. I would. I think we saw the two best teams in the NFL on the field yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
The only problem I have is that at the rate Detroit's going, Dan Campbell is going to be playing tight end for them by about this time next week.
Well, hopefully not. They've limited.
He also needs to do something about, bro, you need to stop chewing on that dip, bro.
Why?
He had some big, screamy, angry face, and you got to look at those at that bottom cap. Wowzers.
Oh, is it discolored
Oh,
mightily?
yeah. For sure.
Are his teeth as brown as your beard?
Browner, because my beard's red. There was no red there. It was just, wow.
Yeah, you probably ought not do that. Why don't you pick up vaping? I mean, at least it won't do that to your face.
Maybe get you a
immediately.
Zen pouch. I've heard.
Zen pouch. What is that?
Is
that ayahuasca? In a
No.
pouch? Where are we getting this, Aaron?
No, it's what all the frat boys are now. Hey, look, I dip. I got my Zen. No, you don't. Okay, you've got a rosin bag in your mouth, and that's. I get offered those at
Was that
bars
like the
all
snooze?
the time. Yeah, it's in the same ballpark.
Okay. Yeah.
I get offered those at bars, and I'm like, no, bro. I already have my Dr. Dauchi nicotine supplying system.
I don't need your real tobacco.
Yeah,
I'll be over here sucking on chemicals.
Yeah, if I add another frat boy nicotine delivery system, I have to literally change into a pair of sailor shorts and a pair of Sperry's.
Not to be the Debbie Downer here, but you know that day's coming, right? Where they're just going to have that realization of, oh, by the way, all of you have cancer now. We didn't know it was coming, but now you have super cancer, and you're going to die from sucking on those vape things.
With the way I live, that's in no better than the top 7 of things that will get me.
Very well could.
Although at least I am married now, so Jealous Husband came out of the top 7. And it probably gives a possibility for vape to slide in.
There you go. All right. I would say that was game of the year territory.
I would say so.
Between the Bills and the Lions. Very few really stack up to it. I mean, other than the New York Jets and the Jacksonville Jaguars. I mean, we all got a great thrill out of that, didn't we? I mean, Jeremy, he didn't watch any of it, did you? You didn't watch a single second of the best game of the season for your New York Jets and the Jacksonville Jaguars.
How in the world was that the best game of our season? That was the worst game of our season. Don't do that. Don't win games now. How many times do you have to do this before you learn? You got Zach Wilson because you did this one time. Stop winning games.
But it was such an exciting game. McCorkle Jones throwing for nearly 300 yards on the Jets.
I've never seen a defense go from so good to so bad. Genuinely.
The only turnover you could get is that one that McCorkle just threw right up for Sauce Gardner. He went, oh, well, there's nobody else here.
Wait a minute. Nobody ever throws passes like this to me. I can catch this. Then he threw the ball in the crowd. Like, I think it's your 3rd interception in your career. You might want to hold on to that. Yeah, it ugh. My father was so happy.
My dad,
like Devontae Adams had 198 yards, and in my head I'm going, that's the difference between Travis Hunter or Mason Graham and taking a shot in the dark on James Pierce.
I do want to give a shout out to Scott Hansen, who gave my dad quite a chuckle. We saw the kickoff of the games together on Red Zone because Who doesn't love watching the opening of Red Zone with the 7 hours of commercial-free football and all of that?
I sit there every week and to look at my wife and go, he's going to say it. He's going to do it.
And as he's going through all of the games, he's listing off like all of the playoff implications for each game. And then he gets down to the Jets and the Jaguars, and he goes, these are two teams with J's in their name. Because there is nothing on the line for these two jackwagon. I mean, they're god-awful. And then they end up giving you the 32-25 game, which some have dubbed as the game of the week prior to, obviously, the Buffalo-Detroit game.
Those people are mainlining Zen pouches. You should stop doing whatever.
Apparently, they were thoroughly excited.
I would really like to know at what point in the pregame did Jeff Ulbrich look at the entire team and tell them, Brian Thomas is playing a game of you can't see me. So we all have to act like he's invisible.
10 catches, 105 yards, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah.
But Devontae Adams is the real story of the show.
Yeah, I don't know that I've ever been more convinced that everybody's coming back to just torture me again next year.
9 catches, 198 yards. I think it said he was 6 yards off of his career high with 2 touchdowns as well from Aaron Rodgers.
That was a trade-off. We did it with Brian Thomas, so Jacksonville had to do it with Devontae Adams.
Right. Who, for some reason, has decided, hey, let's win a game or two here.
Just in the suffering. That's all I wanted was Travis Hunter. I wanted a Heisman Trophy winner in New York on the opposite side of Sauce Gardner. That's all I wanted. I'm a simple man. I don't ask for much. Just keep losing.
Yeah.
You are bad. Be bad. Do what you do. Just show up and do what feels natural.
That's all right. You'll end up picking like 10th, and you'll get a tackle.
Yeah.
It'll be fine.
Awesome. Yeah, we'll get Will Campbell. Sexy. Great. Get another offensive lineman that we could break.
You're in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville. We'll be right back. We'll get just a bit outside.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Not much in the way of heavy rain in the forecast, mild weather, so all the precipitation, even in the mountains, will be rainfall the next few days. Actually, today, probably the best of it in terms of precip. None around, some with the overcast, so not a lot of sunshine, but still will muster up about 58. Tonight, we're in the 40s with maybe some rain showers. Tuesday, some patchy fog with a chance of showers in the morning, then partly sunny, mild or low 60s. Wednesday, a few showers, mid-60s. From the Weather Channel, I'm Ray Stajic.
This report is sponsored by Total Wine & More. At Total Wine & More, find the best gifts for everyone on your list, including a single-barrel bourbon with the lowest prices for over 30 years. Curbside pickup and delivery available in most areas. Visit TotalWine.com for details. Spirits not sold in Virginia and North Carolina. Drink responsibly. B21.
The PayPal app has amazingly low prices for holiday shopping. Get cashback offers in the app, and when you use the PayPal debit card, PayPal stacks 5% more in the monthly category of your choosing on up to $1,000 in purchases. Don't just pay, PayPal.
My friends swim no matter the season, but my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis can sometimes take me out of the moment. Now, thanks to Skyrizi and clear skin, count me in. With Skyrizi Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy. 3 out of 4 people achieve 90% clear skin at 4 months.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check for infection and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms such as fever, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, or if you plan to or recently received a vaccine.
Thanks to Skyrizi, there's nothing on my skin, and that means everything. Ask your doctor today about Skyrizi, the #1 dermatologist-prescribed biologic in psoriasis, and visit skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI to learn more.
Some people just know you could save money on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Those people are probably saving a carload of cash right now. So what are you waiting for? Check Allstate first for a quote today. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Do better, be better every day. That's the Parks Promise. Our mission, to improve lives with every interaction. This is JW, General Manager at Parks Ford Hendersonville. Experience the Parks Promise today at parksfordhendersonville.com. That's parksfordhendersonville.com.
Showtime Sports and Mountain Graphics have teamed up under new ownership by an Asheville native to better serve our community with the finest custom apparel and unique branded items at the best price. Showtime Sports and Mountain Graphics can customize whatever you, your team, business, or local group may need through high-quality screen printing, embroidery, and laser engraving right here in Asheville. Free personal delivery within Buncombe County and a reduced delivery fee anywhere in Western North Carolina. Visit ShowtimeSportsAVL.com and MountainGraphicsAVL.com. Your one-stop custom apparel shops.
If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate in the mountains, you need to call the agents at Clarissa Sells WNC, brokered by eXp Realty. Check us out online at ClarissaSellsWNC.com. Download our free app on Google Play or the App Store. Type in Asheville Home Search. You'll be able to connect with our team and see all the available homes for sale in our area. For more information, contact us today at 828-774-6343 or ClarissaSellsWNC@gmail.com.
Boy, you must be outside your mind.
The Sportsocracy.
Just a bit outside. He tried the corner and missed.
It is the Sportsocracy, and we are live on ESPN Asheville from the Ingles studio. And today is a very special day, Jeremy. It's not
Monday.
It's not just Monday, and it's not just an
Overreaction Monday.
Right. But today, December 16th, 2024, is officially Underdog Day.
Underdog. Speed of lightning! Roar of thunder! He asked me for college football underdogs. I have a few.
So today is officially National Underdog Day. Apparently, December 16th this year is Underdog Day. It is the day, of course, where nationally we are asked to celebrate the unsung heroes. It's all about loving and cheering the underdog, a person in a competition or an event who is usually expected to lose or fail. We all love pulling for the underdog. And today,
really?
Well, I think we do.
I like betting underdog.
Don't you? Don't you generally look at teams and go, I want those guys to beat those guys because I'm tired of seeing those guys win. I do that all the time. Watching Kansas City Chiefs games, I basically just pull for everybody else now. Like, they have 13 wins already. Somebody please beat them.
I don't want to see them win a Super Bowl, but other than that, no, I'm not the underdog guy. Like, hey, don't you want to see Boise State win it? No, I don't.
No.
As a matter of fact, I don't want to see anything less. Arizona State is a damn close second, but just fractionally behind. And I'm really glad we don't have to watch them on that goofy blue turf.
Mm-hmm. Apparently, historically, National Underdog Day has been celebrated every third Friday in December since 1976. But for some damn reason, it's today, and I can't figure that out. I don't know if there was an edict somewhere, but the history of the day says it's generally on a Friday. I guess they didn't want to mix it with Friday the 13th, or maybe Friday the 20th was just too far out, too close to Christmas. I don't know why they changed the schedule this year. But happy National Underdog Day.
Speaking of underdogs, a team that has made the college football playoff, but I would say has literally less than zero shot to win it, the Penn State Nittany Lions.
Mm-hmm.
It's been an aggressive 24 hours for them. Yesterday, their backup quarterback, Bo Prabula,
yeah,
I believe that's how you say that.
Yeah, Prabula,
entered the transfer portal and will not be with the team during the college football playoff. The reason came out today because Drew Aller will be returning to Happy Valley for 2025. I don't know how you screw this up this badly, but the NCAA found a way. I heard Ross Tucker earlier today say the transfer portal would basically be like the NFL having free agency after the wild card round of the playoffs.
Yeah.
Because let me just, for posterity's sake, let's say Drew Aller got a boo-boo, got a hangnail. Don't want the kid to get hurt, but just for some reason he could not play in their first-round matchup. Do you know how many quarterbacks on this roster they have that aren't 18-year-old freshmen?
0.
It was Bo Prabula. He was the only one.
Yeah.
And that was their big runner kid that would come in short yarded situations, like they used to use Will Levis.
Mm-hmm.
You understand why this is insanely stupid, right? You have 12 teams that made the college football playoff. You have a backup quarterback at Penn State that wants a chance to start and probably deserves a chance to start. He has to transfer now.
Mm-hmm.
He can't even roll with the team through the playoff because you're so stupid you can't figure out that the transfer portal shouldn't open before the playoff. You morons. Why is this so hard for you to understand?
Everybody's got to have that jump start on the next class, though, right? The
Why?
calendar is so small when we get into the offseason. Look, I think it's ridiculous.
It is ridiculous.
I'm just saying, I mean, but this is the kind of response that you get from them. The window is so short that we got to have the ability for these guys to make their decisions. We got all the coaches in place.
Why do you have to do that in December?
I have no idea.
Because we got to be able to, if some of these guys could get into school, they're going to be there in January. Nobody cares. All right? We took the top off student athlete, which was long the most laughable term in the English lexicon. It's all nonsense. Now you're actually affecting the games. And I'm just going to go ahead and tell you, if something were to happen to Drew Aller and this kid's gone, and you have an 18-year-old true freshman come into a college football playoff game, the level of embarrassment you will undertake will be unlike anything you have ever seen before.
Mm-hmm.
A group that loves to embarrass themselves. This will be unlike anything you've ever seen.
No doubt about it.
Because you're too stupid to figure this out. This ain't hard. None of it's hard. It's also really dumb that now the college football season goes into the middle of January. Hey, you know how you fix this? Start your games in August. Start the college football season the first week of August. What does that preclude? Oh, classes are starting. Nobody cares. You made it perfectly clear. Nobody cares.
I was going to say, as if anybody cares that these kids have to go to class too. I mean, they play through exams. They can play through the start of the year. If they have to play through the end of the semester, they can play through the start of the semester.
This is just so easy to figure out, and I do not understand why. I can't figure out how any entity makes as much money as the NCAA does when it is so laughably, pathetically poorly run.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's only one at this point entity in sports that's even close, and they are getting absolutely eviscerated financially, and it's the NBA. The NBA has become totally unwatchable because Tank, I believe you and I were saying this of, you do realize this product's getting worse and worse and worse and worse and worse.
Yep.
You're bringing in a lot of European guys that none of us know that are allegedly your next stars. College basketball's not doing squat for you at this point. And we warned you. If you're not careful, Adam Silver's going to ruin your league, and he's done it.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, my favorite stat of the year. Hornets Bulls played Friday night. They hit 25 threes. They missed 72 of them.
Well, the coaching has done it.
They were 25 of 97 from three.
That should tell you everything you need to know. These teams are trying to play like Golden State Warriors Splash Brother basketball, and they don't have the skills to do it.
It's not even that. That is part of it. But there have been so many issues at the NBA level that have made this game so unwatchable. First of all, I believe we have all screamed from the mountaintops, nobody gives a damn about your politics, so please shut up about it. We do not care. And the more times we turn off televisions because you keep throwing it at us, I think at some point you would learn the lesson. But even beyond that, you killed the filler system because college basketball now doesn't give you squat.
Mm-hmm.
You will have gotten one Cooper flag in the last 5 years. That's all you got. That's it. Your game has sped up because you've allowed all of these stupid rule changes, and you've tried this in-season tournament, which is absolutely laughably stupid. You know who's doing the same thing? College football. College football is playing a bowl game I believe it's in a week. Marshall had so many teams in the transfer portal, they had to withdraw. We can't field a team because you open the transfer portal before bowl games, which, oh, by the way, you kind of need the sponsors to pay for, and I don't think the sponsors are loving the fact that we get Louisiana Tech. They probably didn't love the fact they got Marshall.
I was going to say.
They surely don't enjoy getting the fourth choice that's 5 and 7.
Did they care all that much when it was the Thundering Herd? That is the question.
Marshall was at least won their conference. Then they had a really laughable power struggle with their coach who went to a rival school and took a whole bunch of his players with him.
Mm-hmm.
That's not necessarily smart either.
No, but as is going to happen in this Wild West kind of an atmosphere.
But why is it happening? All of these things, why are they happening?
Because the calendar's out of whack. Because you have to.
You're going too myopic. Why is the calendar out of whack? Because there's no leadership in the NCAA. You got beat by the Supreme Court in 2020 and you rolled over and died. And now you have turned into an old cat next to the radiator that's too lazy to get up and take a piddle.
Mm-hmm.
Every year you let this go, it gets a little worse and a little worse and a little worse. Lane Kiffin just eviscerated you for 17 minutes on the podium in Oxford the day he was talking about the early signing period and all the guys that he had just signed. He basically just went on a rant about the NCAA and how stupid this calendar is. Okay, then why do you not fix it? Because you can't give me a tangible reason why we continue to do this. Now you're affecting the playoff games. Dan Patrick swears there's another guy that's going into the transfer portal whose team is still in the playoff, and he is a way bigger name than Bo Prabula. I've heard one. I'm just not comfortable saying it.
I think he goes to Texas. I've been waiting on that announcement to come. One of those quarterbacks. If you're making decisions now, one of those quarterbacks is probably going to have to transfer.
Well, it's not Arch Manning.
No,
Arch Manning's
it's not
the
Arch
starter
Manning.
next year.
And I don't feel the other one's going pro.
I don't know.
I mean, from his pro stock, what it was at the beginning of the season to what it is now, would you not think that you would want another year?
It depends on how many guys keep pulling out.
Maybe
Drew Aller was, for me, was the 4.
Mm-hmm.
And he was the guy that I could easily have seen a team falling for that they took in the top 10. Because they look at all the raw tools and go, oh, my God, if we could develop him. He was at Penn State.
It's another unintended consequence of what you've created here.
And I guess my point here is, and you're not fixing it, why? We all know it's a problem. You'd have to be a moron to not understand why this is a problem. That you have a team that's together from the spring until just before the start of the winter. Then you get into the spot where everybody is playing the games that, we played to get here, and you have players transferring off these teams before they play in those games. But because you're forcing them to. Bo Prabula grew up a Penn State fan. He just wants to play. He doesn't want to transfer now. You're forcing him to. Because all these quarterback spots are going to be taken up. And if he wants a chance to play, he has to leave now. That's moronic.
And who thought of that beforehand?
Nobody did.
Did anybody
This is what
think?
the NCAA does. Mm-hmm. They cannot think 5 inches in front of their face.
Yeah.
Oh, we have to have a playoff. You're right. But there are things that you're going to have to do to make this work.
Nope. We're jumping right in. Nope, we're jumping right in and we're doing it. There has been very little planning to anything that they've done. Everything has been reactionary. We're gonna make this next step because the pressure has gotten too great for us to do anything else. But there's no forethought of where this could go or what the unintended consequences could be.
Why is college football so popular?
Because it's the feeder system to the NFL.
I would say that is answer number 1. There were 2 more acceptable answers.
Okay, what is that?
It's really fun to bet on.
Okay.
It's the second best on-field product we have in sports.
Okay. I will agree.
Do you disagree with anything I just said?
Not.
Okay. So now you're tinkering with all 3 of those things. Because with NIL, you now have guys that are going back to school. It's making your on-field product better, but it's hurting the filter system to the NFL. Because I'm looking at a quarterback class here that is absolutely, genuinely, grade A, hot, steaming garbage. This is as bad of a quarterback class as I've ever seen. We may go 7 rounds without having a quarterback that I could in any way encourage you to draft.
Mm-hmm.
Shedeur Sanders is talented. You're going to have to take him at 1. I'm out. Cam Ward is talented. You're going to have to take him at 2. I'm out. 3 may end up being Jalen Milroe. That's how bad this class is.
Mm-hmm.
Because all these guys are coming back. Quinn Ewers, I fully believe, will be playing college football next year. I'm just not 100% sure it's going to be an orange. And if it is, it may not be the orange that you think. But throw that out there.
Really?
Seriously.
Knoxville?
That's not what I said.
That's not what you said.
That's not what I said.
Clemson.
I didn't say it. You can infer what you want to infer.
It's like, I don't think Nico's going
hear
anywhere,
stuff.
but Cade might.
At some point, you have to get in front of this before you have a huge blow up in your face.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the one thing that I didn't talk about right there was gambling. One of the reasons that college football is so popular is because you can gamble on it. Why do you think the NCAA tournament is so popular? Because you can gamble on it.
Mm-hmm.
And it is one tournament, 67 games, once a year. Why is the regular season not popular? Because none of us have the time to track down Georgia Tech to figure out where we should be laying bangers. You ever notice that I don't give you college basketball games? There's a reason for that. I'm buried in the NFL draft until about tournament time. That's when I can, with a conscience, give you a pick that I feel like is actually educated. I don't have time to sit around and watch 200 college basketball games a week. Well, if you take the betting away, and all you've got to really do is burn somebody one time. A true freshman quarterback comes in for Penn State and they get absolutely car ramrodded in the first round. That's enough.
Mm-hmm.
That's enough. You'll do more damage in 1 week than you've done in the last 10 years.
What, to take the bettors away from the game?
The bettors that are heavy on Penn State. And right now, I have not checked the numbers since Friday. But as of Friday, bettors were very heavy on Penn State, which means you got a lot of bets that are already placed and there is nothing you can do about it. I don't see the active number. I'll find it here in just a second. Something happens to Drew Aller in the first quarter, and your backup quarterback had to transfer. The only competent quarterback that you had to transfer because your schedule is so screwed up. You will lose some of these guys forever.
Mm-hmm.
I'll never place another wager because you burned me so badly. And I know you think I'm overreacting. I'm not.
No. All right. I mean, it is a problem that, I'm not a heavy gambler, but I can see where the problem would be. Because you sold me on something that, well, you devalued the product with your own rules.
Mm-hmm.
How did you do that? How did you not think about this ahead of time?
Well, you gave
Which
me
is kind of
one
how I've been with the NCAA through all of this.
You gave me one of the more palatable matchups to wager.
Mm-hmm.
I had no clue that you could run into this problem. Now all I need is one twisted ankle. Trust me, I would have factored that in, especially with them playing SMU. I would have factored that in.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying it would preclude me from doing anything, but then I have to see some little no-name 18-year-old kid that I've never heard of, and that's what my money's riding on? Yeah, we're going to have a problem.
Yeah.
You know who else did that? The NBA. How many times have you heard me complain about that? That they can change lineups up to 15 minutes before tip-off, and I'm already done.
A bunch.
It's why I stopped.
Yeah.
I was a top 500 NBA DFS player in the country. I couldn't do it anymore because I got so tired of watching Anthony Davis injure an eyebrow in layup line. So I stopped. I have not done one of those in 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
I used to play every night. Heavy weight every single night. I don't do it anymore. Not because DraftKings did anything wrong. DraftKings are great.
It's because the NBA rules.
They actually changed their rules to where lineups in the NBA didn't lock, so I could still change those guys. The only problem is that if it's somebody that plays on the West Coast, there may not be another game.
Right.
So I'm having to take out Anthony Davis for Mo Bamba. Yeah, that didn't quite translate the way I wanted it to.
Right. It's a mess. NCAA has many, many things to fix, and this is just another one of them. You're in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville.
This is a weekly test of the emergency alert system. This is only a test.
Cheerio and happy holidays to all. There's two things we Brits do particularly well.
Another one of them.
It's the home cocktail maker that's every bit as posh and premium as having your own bartender in the house, without having to worry about providing servants' quarters. Whether your desire is a holiday-spiced old-fashioned by the Yule log or a Clausmopolitan for sipping with your besties, just pop in a capsule, select your strip, push the button, and you're off. Hurry now, old chap, because they're $50 off. Yes, even old Ebenezer Scrooge wouldn't quite be able to turn down such good tidings, made so rapidly and served so well. So turn your holiday party into an event worthy of the blokes across the pond with Bartesian. Add some holiday flavor to every celebration with the sleek, sophisticated home cocktail maker, Bartesian. Get $50 off any cocktail maker at bartesian.com/cocktail. That's BARTESIAN.com/cocktail.
Did you apply for FEMA help after the recent disaster and want to know the status of your application or how to appeal an eligibility decision?
It's easy to reach FEMA. Call 800-621-3362.
Does FEMA have your current contact information?
If you're not sure, call 800-621-3362 because FEMA may need more information to help you. Remember, call 800-621-3362 or go online to disasterassistance.gov.
If you or a loved one have been a victim of crime, the North Carolina Department of Public Safety Office of Victim Compensation Services provides programs to help you find peace of mind. We're here to help you apply for benefits that you may qualify for to recover from hardships such as lost wages and medical expenses. To learn more, visit ncdps.gov/4victims. That's ncdps.gov/4 VICTIMS.
Who needs headphones when you have Ray-Ban Meta glasses? The open-ear speakers in these AI-powered glasses let you play music while staying in tune with the world around you. Just say, "Hey Meta," to harness the power of Meta AI. Shop now at meta.com/smartglasses.
Dan Scott here, inviting you to check out my new show every Sunday, 8 to 9 a.m. here on ESPN Asheville, where we bring sports and faith together. The Dan Scott Show, 8 a.m. Sundays on ESPN Asheville.
If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate in the mountains, you need to call the agents at Clarissa Sells WNC, brokered by eXp Realty. Check us out online at clarissasellswnc.com. And did I mention that Clarissa Sells WNC loves teachers? We love teachers so much, we're giving back 25% of our commission at closing. For more information, contact us today at 828-774-6343 or clarissasellswnc@gmail.com.
This is J.W. Whitley, General Manager at Parks Ford of Hendersonville. Our purpose, to improve lives with every interaction. Nominate your Parks Community Hero today at parkscommunityheroes.com. Like Daniel, a veteran who accompanied law enforcement and other veterans to perform search and rescue operations. Like Spencer, who helped build a bridge out of debris to rescue 7 families after the road was washed away. Nominate your Parks Community Hero today at parkscommunityheroes.com. Experience the Parks Promise today at parksfordhendersonville.com.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Not much in the way of heavy rain in the forecast, mild weather, so all the precipitation, even in the mountains, will be rainfall the next few days. Actually, today, probably the best of it in terms of precip. None around, some with the overcast, so not a lot of sunshine, but still will muster up about 58. Tonight, we're in the 40s with maybe some rain showers. Tuesday, some patchy fog with a chance of showers in the morning, then partly sunny, mild or low 60s. Wednesday, a few showers, mid-60s. From the Weather Channel, I'm Ray Stajic.
This report is sponsored by Lowe's. Shop new deal drops now at Lowe's. Right now, get up to 30% off select major appliances and save big this holiday season. Lowe's knows deals. Offer valid 12/12 to 12/18. Cannot be combined with additional discounts. See Lowe's.com for details and qualifying items while supplies last.
What if you could hear your favorite song for the first time again? Introducing the all-new, reimagined Nissan Kicks. With an available Bose Personal Plus sound system that uses speakers in the headrest to create a 360-degree listening experience. You've never heard anything like this. Reimagine your music and your drive. Experience the all-new, reimagined Nissan Kicks for yourself at nissanusa.com today.
Available feature. Bose is a registered trademark of the Bose Corporation.
Have you taken advantage of your dental benefits for 2023? Make your appointment now to get in before December 31st at Summit Dental. Most dental insurance covers 2 cleanings and exams a year. Contact Summit Dental now to take full advantage of your plan. Summit Dental also has a full range of professional services, from crowns and fillings, implants, teeth whitening, and more. Plus, they're accepting new patients. Visit AshevilleSummitDental.com and schedule your appointment now to get in before the end of the year.
When you're ready to go back in the day,
y'all gonna make me lose my mind.
Check out the all-new Throwbacks 101.1.
This is how we do it. Allow me to introduce myself.
Asheville's classic hip-hop and R&B. Come on.
From the Ingalls Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart radio station.
Live from the Ingalls Studio.
I can't wait to play with myself every day.
The Sportsocracy.
Damn the devil to hell! Let the big dog eat! Let him on the field!
Come get you some of this.
Fire them cannons. By golly, put more powder in those things.
He couldn't take any more disappointment. Oh, my God. The Jets killed him.
It is the Sportsocracy live on the ESPN Asheville 92.9 FM, 880 AM and 1400.
Live with Mullet and Poop Dog over here.
We are heard everywhere you go on the iHeartRadio app. Seen everywhere on YouTube. Just go to thesportsocracy.com. Click the live video link. Subscribe to the channel so you can join us in the chat.
There's a lot of comments in the YouTube.
Are there?
Gambit fan said, "Good Lord, what is wrong with you?" First the dancing,
just loving
now
life.
that.
Just loving life.
You know what? I get to hear it every single time. The only question is, does he turn his mic on or not?
Look, I love the throwbacks. It's my second favorite radio station behind ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM.
After my little run on Star, I have made it very clear. I would love to do a morning show on throwbacks.
I feel like that might get you canceled, but
mate, no,
we'll see.
I would have just a whale of a time. It's the only musical platform we have. That one in country, and well, country's spoken for. I ain't breaking into that anytime soon. It's the only two that I could actually run the music on.
We were traveling out, just running errands over the weekend, and with the boys in the car, and I had it on throwbacks, and I can't remember what song was on, but it was probably like Regulators or something I knew the words to. And my boys were sitting in the back seat, and they went, "Can we please stop listening to dad rap now?" And I went, "You know what? I'd never heard the term dad rap before, but throwbacks kind of falls into that category."
I have to ask this question. What genre of music do Poop Dog Juniors listen to?
Well, they're both really into Eminem. They both really like Eminem.
I can get behind that.
I would say Joseph is strictly like Eminem. Like, that's all he listens to is Eminem. Joshua is more eclectic with his taste. He discovers a new band every month, it seems like.
As long as it's not like Steely Dan, I don't really.
No, he hasn't branched out into the classics just yet. He's leaving the best for last. Just
that is the first time Steely Dan and Best have been put in the same paragraph ever.
Yacht Rock is awesome. You stop it. You should watch that Yacht Rock documentary, by the way. It's pretty good.
Pass.
Pretty fun. All right.
That's hard pass.
You like documentaries.
I do,
figured
but
you'd like that one.
But I do. I like documentaries about, good stuff.
Like murder? That was a weird way to say that.
I did see the irony with how I
like documentaries about good stuff like murder and cults.
Yeah, okay. About interesting things. Sorry, I used the wrong adjective. My bad.
I mean, you don't want to know how Michael McDonald single-handedly rescued Yacht Rock?
Nope.
No?
Nope,
Not
don't
interested.
care. I know how he single-handedly can empty a Best Buy anytime his song comes on.
Yeah, dad rap. I mean, I feel like that should be a term now. You are in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville. It is
Overreaction Monday.
And, overreacting to, what was the next lesson learned in the weekend? Was it the Pittsburgh Steelers are not that good?
Well, they have a massive problem defensively. And look, this is a Philadelphia team that really hadn't been able to throw on anybody. And I'm not going to lie, if you go back and listen to when we picked these games, I hit that nail so far on the head that it was pathetic.
Yes, you did.
Because they had nobody that could deal with Devontae Smith or A.J. Brown. I didn't anticipate Devontae Smith being as good as he was. Do you know what those two had combined yesterday?
It was like 215 yards or something?
19 catches.
Mm-hmm.
19 catches for 219 yards.
Yeah.
And 2 touchdowns. That's almost 100 yards more than the Steelers team had.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and Rusty. Oh, yeah. Run dangerous. Pittsburgh's so good. He looks good yesterday, did he? And your running game, boo, buddy. That's
well. Are you telling me that 6 carries for 14 yards is no good for Najee Harris,
or 4 for 12 for Jalen Warren, or 2 for 9 for Cordell Patterson? The one guy you had that actually, Justin Fields did have 1 carry for 8 yards.
Good for him.
Awesome.
It's the problem Pittsburgh was always going to run into.
That eventually, you run out of bad teams to play.
Pretty much.
You run out of AFC North games that are always competitive. And when you really break down who they've beaten, it's virtually nobody.
And the games that you've scored points in, oh, congratulations, you did it against the worst defenses in the league.
Yeah.
I mean, all of the games that they've scored 30 points in, the Raiders,
the Bengals,
the Jets, who are terrible now.
They were terrible then, too.
The Bengals, right. 28 against the Commanders, 26 against the Giants, 27 against the Browns. You can beat up on bad teams when you face a good team. But I thought yesterday, I look at that game and I think, but that means there's growth in Philadelphia, doesn't there? Doesn't that mean that there was some kind of a rekindling of that passing game? All of the talk and all of the fighting and all of that we had last week and the week before last with A.J. Brown and Jalen Hurts. Everybody said coming into this game, at least from the Eagles' perspective, like, we're going to work on this. And they did. They came out. Jalen Hurts threw the ball well. Saquon was, he carried the ball 19 times for 65 yards.
Mm-hmm.
He wasn't moving very much. So here we go. We had to rely on the running game to win one, or the passing game to win one, and they did.
That was the first time that Jalen Hurts has thrown more than 28 passes since September.
Mm-hmm.
Do you walk away from that feeling better about Philadelphia than you did going in? Because I don't.
Really?
You beat up on a horrifically bad secondary.
Mm-hmm.
The Pittsburgh Steelers secondary is terrible. The highest rated player in it is Dante Jackson. So that should really tell you everything you need to know.
I get it that it's not a great secondary. But we didn't. There was a part of me that didn't think you could do this at all, right? That this had just kind of disappeared from the game plan because we hadn't seen it. Now that we've seen it, maybe this means that going forward you can do that against the Ravens next week, who don't have a great secondary.
Air yards were still light. A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith just had nobody that could cover them.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this is where I will go. There is a possibility that the Eagles could win a Super Bowl having never played a team with a good secondary. That is fully possible. Just think about it this way. If they get the 1 seed, who would they play in the second round?
Who?
Philadelphia, if they manage to get the 1 seed, they would get the winner of the 4-5,
mm-hmm.
which is probably going to be either the Los Angeles Rams, the Atlanta Falcons, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, or the Minnesota Vikings. Where's the real staunch defensive team there?
You don't have one.
If you get past that, you would play either the Lions or maybe the Bucks or whatever team was still left.
Packers. Commanders.
Where's the terrifying secondary here?
Mm-hmm.
There's not one. Then you get to the Super Bowl. Buffalo's secondary doesn't scare me. Baltimore's doesn't.
Mm-hmm.
Kansas City probably has the best one.
But they haven't played like it.
No. This is a weird year in the NFL. And now I need to elaborate on this because I almost feel like Eagle fans think I'm trolling them at this point. I'm not. I'm not trying to diminish anything you have done. You've won some games. You have a super talented roster. I don't buy your coach and your quarterback. That's not going to change. Like, nothing you do is going to change that. You have a coach that over several years now has very confidently established who he is. And if you challenge him, I believe there's a great possibility he's going to revert back to that same thing. Just insane gambler doing things that don't make a whole lot of sense. And you get into a shootout with Matthew Stafford. Do I like Matthew Stafford better or Jalen Hurts? It's not close. Do I like Jared Goff better or Jalen Hurts? It's not close.
Mm-hmm.
The dirty secret of the Philadelphia Eagles is that Jalen Hurts is a very handsomely paid, very mobile game manager quarterback. That's what he is. That's what he is. If you don't believe me, we're through, 14 weeks? 14 games, 15 weeks? He has not thrown more than 38 passes in a game all year. Jared Goff threw 59 yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Because he got into a shootout, and he's able to do that. Jalen Hurts is not. If you put this fully on the arm of Jalen Hurts, you're not going to like the outcome. Because he's not that guy.
Mm-hmm. Especially if he has to outduel one of the others.
The last 2 times he's thrown the ball more than 38 times. Both of them were last year. One was a loss to the Jets, and one was a killed loss to the 49ers.
Mm-hmm.
The empirical evidence is here.
Sounds very Dak Prescott-y to me.
No, Dak can put up prodigious stats. The problem is that there's a pivot point with him. I think it's about at 42.
Mm-hmm.
If he throws it more than 42 times, you rest assured Dallas was behind. They were chasing points, and his interception rate triples.
Yep. And most of the time, they didn't come back. Most of the time, they didn't make the comeback. That was one of the most glaring stats of Dak Prescott's career under Kellen Moore. The more he throws, the more they lose.
Mm-hmm. Wow, I did not know this. Do you know that in Jalen Hurts' career, he's never won a game that he threw it more than 38 times?
Sounds about right.
He's never done it. He has lost every single time.
Mm-hmm.
It's only happened 7 times.
Which is why the build of this team matters so much this year. Which is why having Saquon Barkley is the most important piece he's ever had.
For sure.
That can take him to a Super Bowl. That can get him over the hump in a Super Bowl. Could they catch some breaks? Because we already saw him get there without that. And we saw how that fell short in the best year he's ever had. Now he's not playing the best he's ever played. But I do feel like this past week was a little step forward. Maybe now all of this gets appeased. Maybe there's no longer a rift anymore. I guess we'll just have to wait and see. Because when it comes playoff time and you get into the playoffs in the first round and you start pounding the rock with Saquon Barkley, is it going to come back? In that pressure situation, is all of this going to bubble back up to the surface? I think you always have that ability. I loved also the quote from, I don't know the exact quote, but I'm going to paraphrase here. I heard it over the weekend that, all of this strife within the Philadelphia Eagles offense, the back and forth, it was all because, this is the culture that Nick Sirianni has instilled in that locker room, that we can all feel free to voice our concerns freely. I don't think that's the benefit that you think it is. You as a player might really, really like that. Having the freedom to speak up, feeling empowered to go out in front of the media and bring things like this forward. It's not typically how good teams work, though.
No.
I don't think that's a culture that you want in the building.
I'm still dumbfounded. And by the way, I did find one. Jalen did throw 39 passes against the Tennessee Titans.
Okay.
And they did win that game. Other than that, every time he's thrown more than 38 passes, they've lost. That is top 5 most insane stats that I've ever seen.
Mm-hmm. But it is evidence for those Jalen haters.
I'm not a Jalen hater.
No, but I'm saying those that are out there, it's all the weaponry you need to say this guy can't win.
I live by a very simple mantra. Show me where it's ever won before. Show me the quarterback that plays that way that has ever won before. And sure, there will be a first time. I will happily steal a Tank Spencer line of I'm going to have to see it before I believe it.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're going to have to beat Josh Allen, who is Jalen Hurts on steroids. He is better than you at every single thing he does. There is no thing you are better at than Josh Allen. That's who you have to beat to win a Super Bowl. And frankly, of the highest high-end teams, and I'm looking at Philadelphia, I'm looking at Detroit, I'm looking at Baltimore, Buffalo, and Kansas City, there will be one successful season because one of those 5 teams is winning the Super Bowl. The other 4 are all just different variations of loser to me because you all came in with the expectation that you're going to win a Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm. Meanwhile, the Philadelphia Eagles are sitting at 12-2, and I'm not sure there's much of a path for them to be any worse than 15-2 going into the playoffs because the end of their schedule is the Commanders, Cowboys, and Giants. The Commanders is not going to be easy, but you should win out. And if you go 15-2 in the regular season, you're going to be expected to make it no less than to the NFC Championship game. And I think this team can do it, but I don't think riding the arm of Jalen Hurts is how you want to try to get there.
No, that's the funniest part of this is that there is a great possibility. You know, I said, show me a guy that's ever won at the highest level, and what I'm talking about is winning a Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
There is a great chance that you're going to have a Super Bowl where you have 2 of them playing against each other. Because you, in theory, could have Josh Allen against Jalen Hurts in a Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
Which, you want to talk about America's team? Holy squat. We would, 95% of us, be rooting for the Buffalo Bills.
Yes. It's about time. And maybe this is the year that Josh Allen and company get it done. Or is this the ultimate letdown once again for Buffalo fans?
This does have that eerie, and maybe it's because I'm a Jet fan and I'm very used to this feeling of impending doom that we get Kansas City, Philadelphia against somehow.
No. You're in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville.
Dan Scott here, inviting you to check out my new show every Sunday, 8 to 9 a.m. here on ESPN Asheville, where we bring sports and faith together. The Dan Scott Show, 8 a.m. Sundays on ESPN Asheville.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues? Who are you? Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
The PayPal app has amazingly low prices for holiday shopping. Get cashback offers in the app, and when you use the PayPal debit card, PayPal stacks 5% more in the monthly category of your choosing on up to $1,000 in purchases. Don't just pay, PayPal.
Don't you wish your life came with a warning app?
Stop. That dog does not want to be petted.
Just a little heads up before something bad happens.
Move your coffee cup away from your computer.
Oh, no. So you can have more control.
Stop. You're texting your boss by mistake.
Uh-oh. Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. With early diagnosis and a few healthy changes like managing your weight, getting active, stopping smoking, and eating healthier, you can stop prediabetes before it leads to type 2 diabetes. It's easy to learn your risk. Take the 1-minute test today at doihaveprediabetes.org.
Warning, the cap is loose on that catch-up.
Ugh. Don't wait. You have the power to change the outcome. Visit doihaveprediabetes.org today. That's doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its prediabetes awareness partners.
This year, we have plenty to celebrate. From reuniting with loved ones, to welcoming new family members, from rediscovering the great outdoors, to perfecting Let's Stay In. At Ingalls, we're so proud to play a part in your everyday adventures and all your celebrations. So here's to taking a pause and taking it all in. Merry Christmas from Ingalls.
If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate in the mountains, you need to call the agents at Clarissa Sells WNC, brokered by eXp Realty. Check us out online at clarissasellswnc.com. Download our free app on Google Play or the App Store. Type in Asheville Home Search. You'll be able to connect with our team and see all the available homes for sale in our area. For more information, contact us today at 828-774-6343 or clarissasellswnc@gmail.com.
This is J.W. Whitley, General Manager at Parks Ford of Hendersonville. Our purpose, to improve lives with every interaction. Nominate your Parks Community Hero today at parkscommunityheroes.com. Like Trent and Doug, whose first instinct was to fill their trucks with supplies and drive to the hardest hit areas in those first hours. Like Eric, who hosted the football team to support their neighbors and begin the cleanup efforts. Nominate your Parks Community Hero today at parkscommunityheroes.com. That's parkscommunityheroes.com. Experience the Parks Promise today at parksfordhendersonville.com.
It is ESPN Asheville. This is the Sportsocracy coming to you live from the Ingalls studio on 92.9 FM. Overreaction Monday. We have all of the spots filled in the AFC playoffs.
Yeah, the AFC.
There's no race anymore. I mean, it's still mathematically possible.
Is it, though?
It is.
All right,
you only have.
Explain to me the mathematics of that.
Well, I mean, you've got the Chargers and the Colts. Chargers and the Colts are still separated by 2 games, so you could have the Chargers go on a 3-game slide and Indianapolis goes on a 3-game win streak. They could theoretically take it.
To do that, the Chargers would have to lose to the Patriots and the Raiders.
Which is not going to happen.
No. Oh, by the way, the Colts would have to also win out because the Chargers win the tiebreaker over them. And they still play, well, their schedule's not good. Titans, Giants, Jaguars.
Mm-hmm. Ooh. There could be a race there. Probably not.
Yeah, I'm going to say there's not.
But other than that, I mean, essentially it is done. You have your 7 playoff teams. It's the 7 that it's been for the last 5 weeks. The Denver Broncos and the Los Angeles Chargers are the cutoff for the AFC. Everybody else, sorry about your luck. Just lose, baby. Try to improve your draft stock. Miami Dolphins, you're not catching up. Indianapolis Colts, you're not catching up. Cincinnati Bengals, same thing. Over in the NFC, you've still got the North, which is in question, because now you've got the Lions and the Vikings, both with 2 losses. The Packers are out of the division race. I think we can safely say that. It'd take a lot to get them back in it. You have the South.
I feel very comfortable the Packers are going to be probably the 6.
Yes.
The team that doesn't win the North is going to be the 5.
Mm-hmm.
And whoever wins it will either be the 1 or the 2.
Yes. Currently, the number 3 seed in the NFC playoffs belongs to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
I hope you rode with me on that call because I felt really good about the afternoon slate.
I don't see how you saw that coming because I thought
Oh, exactly what I told you. Who in the world is going to defend Mike Evans?
Yeah.
I was 100% right.
You were.
You have two real young corners that like to get real physical, and you've got a Terminator coming in here that will throw them around like rag dolls, and he did.
Mm-hmm. First half started out well for the Los Angeles Chargers. They had they were up 17-7 at the half or something like that. 17-10 maybe. And then second half was just all Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They put up a 40-burger on them. Baker Mayfield, again, putting up big stats, throwing touchdown passes to Mike Evans. And they're 8-6. They have the 1.5 game lead on the on the Falcons. If the Falcons lose tonight, it's a full 2-game lead that they'll have, despite getting swept by the Falcons in the regular season. That tends to happen a lot in the NFC South. So I feel like the South is pretty much done. I just have no faith that Atlanta's going to be able to catch up, and the Bucs have the Cowboys, Panthers, and the Saints left. I feel
Two
like
of those three at home.
Right. I feel like that's a pretty foregone conclusion for the 5th division title in a row. I've never been so pissed off to be a 5-time division winner in the NFL.
Oh, that's the worst 5-time division winner. I asked the first thing that I asked you this morning was, why do we continue allowing the NFC South to be a thing? Like, they should have to take a year off to think about what they did.
Oh, come on. We're beating the pants off of the AFC. Let's go. Well, at least the Los Angeles Chargers. Anyway.
Let's say you're 2-3 against the AFC.
Oh, yeah. No. I meant the Chargers. I mean, we didn't fare well against Broncos or the Chiefs.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. Got smoked by the Broncos, got smoked by the Ravens, and got beat by the Chiefs.
Mm-hmm. And then you got the NFC West. The Rams and the Seahawks, neck and neck down to the end of the year. Final game of the season. Jeremy's been saying it for like 4 weeks now. That final game of the season is going to be the deciding factor.
Well, I do feel as though I have to say, and I'm sorry, to the Seattle Seahawks. I told you should have been starting Sam Howell all year long. And no, you shouldn't have, because he is wowie. He is bad. That was – I don't think I've ever seen a quarterback come into a game where I go, were you in the meetings this week?
Right, were you at practice at all?
Do you know who that guy is? Because his name is Jackson Smith and Jigba, and you do not seem to even speak the same language.
It's all the same old problems with him. Holding on to the ball too long, running around trying to make something happen. It wasn't good. It wasn't a good start.
Well, and then
or a good fill-in, I guess. He didn't start.
Well, then you look at what Seattle's got left, and I don't feel great about that. Because you got the Vikings next week, and if you have no Geno Smith, I'll go ahead and put that one in pen right now.
Woof.
Then you have to go to the Bears. That's the day after Christmas.
You're not going to like that.
I don't think you will either.
I guarantee it.
And if that's the case, then the last week doesn't matter. Because it doesn't really matter what the Rams do. All they've got to do is win a game.
So the Rams may have the in the NFC West sewn up. You give the other wild card to the Green Bay Packers, and I believe that sets us up.
Oh, and I do. Steve On in our YouTube chat said, the Packers had a pretty big lead while Geno was still in. Oh, no. I have obviously phrased this poorly. Green Bay could have played 7 guys last night with Geno Smith still in the game, and they would still have been up by 2 scores. That's how much better Green Bay is than Seattle. That was never in doubt. No, more what I was referring to is I thought Geno Smith was your problem. No, your problem in Seattle is that you're just not very good. You can beat up on the teams in your division. You can beat up on bad teams. Other than that, you don't really beat. There are a handful of teams in the league. You just can't beat good teams. Seattle can't. Miami can't. Dallas hasn't been able to for 3 or 4 years. You beat up on dregs.
Yeah.
And then you play a team that's supposedly in your weight class, and you look like Jake Paul and Mike Tyson. Yeah, technically you did weigh the same amount when we stepped in here, but it was pretty obvious pretty quick. No. No.
Not many questions left to answer.
This could be the most irrelevant 2 weeks of NFL football in the history of the NFL.
Which is always welcome in my mind.
Oh, yeah, because we can take 2 weeks off at Christmas. And
no
be
doubt.
Fine.
It's always welcome.
We'll reconvene when the games matter again, because right now they don't.
The only mattering that they do is for fantasy purposes. And by this point, so many of us have been weeded out. Does the interest still carry?
Yesterday was the first time I got really excited for fantasy football because I had a really good DraftKings lineup. I had a pretty good DraftKings lineup that I had in Battle for the Belt. Good time to get your first win of the year. First week of the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
Just call me Pat Mahomes. I only turn it on when it's business time.
You're in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville on an Overreaction Monday. When we come back, it'll be time to get weird.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Not much in the way of heavy rain in the forecast, mild weather, so all the precipitation, even in the mountains, will be rainfall the next few days. Actually, today, probably the best of it in terms of precip. None around, some with the overcast, so not a lot of sunshine, but still will muster up about 58. Tonight we're in the 40s with maybe some rain showers. Tuesday, some patchy fog with a chance of showers in the morning, then partly sunny, milder low 60s. Wednesday, a few showers, mid-60s. From the Weather Channel, I'm Ray Stajic.
This report is sponsored by Brakes for Less.
Brakes for Less is what we do. We know drums, rotors, pads, and shoes. It doesn't matter what kind of car you got. Call 888-261-STOP. All we do are Brakes for Less.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at checkethos.com. That's checkethos.com.
Coverage varies by plan. View contracts and exclusions at endurancewarranty.com. If you have a 2004 or newer vehicle that's out of warranty or about to be, Endurance is urgently notifying U.S. drivers about their low-cost vehicle coverage plan designed to save drivers thousands on rising vehicle repair costs. Those who qualify can pick their plan, coverage, and repair shop. Roadside service, towing, and rental cars included. All covered repairs get paid directly to the repair shop for you. Call now for your free quote. Call 800-431-8958. That's 800-431-8958.
Who needs headphones when you have Ray-Ban Meta glasses? The open-air speakers in these AI-powered glasses let you play music while staying in tune with the world around you. Just say, "Hey Meta," to harness the power of Meta AI. Shop now at meta.com/smartglasses.
As we recover as a community, it's important to help each other. Hummingbird Insurance, as always, is offering free assistance to help you navigate your health insurance options for next year. Headquartered in Asheville, Hummingbird is one of the top-rated insurance agencies in the country. Schedule a free consultation to compare plans across multiple insurance carriers. The enrollment deadline is January 15th. We make it easier than hauling water. Visit healthcaresucks.com. That's healthcaresucks.com.
Showtime Sports and Mountain Graphics have teamed up under new ownership by an Asheville native to better serve our community with the finest custom apparel and unique branded items at the best price. Showtime Sports and Mountain Graphics can customize whatever you, your team, business, or local group may need through high-quality screen printing, embroidery, and laser engraving right here in Asheville. Free personal delivery within Buncombe County and a reduced delivery fee anywhere in Western North Carolina. Visit ShowtimeSportsAVL.com and MountainGraphicsAVL.com. Your one-stop custom apparel shops.
When you get tired of freezing your can at the tailgate, maybe it's time to ring in a new season. Tailgating season. Wherever you are, whatever the forecast, with good old ale, it's the perfect way to kick off game day. From Red Cup Revelry to just kicking it solo, you can't go wrong with Dale's Pale Ale, Dale's Light Lager, and Dale's Easy IPA. Honest ingredients, no BS. Drink responsibly, and we'll see you at the Tailgate.
On the weird scale, there's Vegas, there's Florida, and there's Asheville. Let's get weird, Asheville.
It is ESPN Asheville. This is the Sportsocracy. We are live in the Ingalls studio, and we love, as sports fans, memorabilia. Right? Memorabilia is a huge industry. Jeremy, you've got all the helmets behind you there.
I've got a lot.
Mm-hmm. People are big into jerseys. Just anything that can connect us with our heroes.
Oh, that reminds me. It's probably time for me to buy a new toy for that shelf for the new year.
Mm-hmm.
Guess Daddy's going shopping.
What are you looking for?
I got a couple things in mind.
A little Sammy D MVP statue?
I've got a Sammy D. He's up top.
Oh, yeah.
I've actually got two. I got a football and a helmet.
Yeah, but they say Jets on them. You need updated Sammy D equipment.
Well, I got to figure out where he's playing first.
Throughout the sports world, teams do like fundraisers and stuff where you can like buy bricks and have the bricks put out, with your name on them. There are also, teams that have sold merch from their stadiums. Right, there was a moment where you could buy like chairs from Fenway Park, and you can buy bricks from torn down stadiums and stuff like that. There's a guy that's got busted on eBay though, because he was selling pieces of the torn top of Tropicana Field, and apparently that violates the eBay standards and practices, like the community standards of eBay.
eBay has standards and practices?
Apparently it does. So it turns out that there is a policy prohibiting the sale of items that attempt to profit from or are insensitive toward victims of natural disasters and human tragedies. And apparently this guy fell into that. So the story was this guy doesn't live too far from Tropicana Field. They got into a canoe after the hurricane came through, and they were just canoeing around, looking at the damage, surveying what they could survey. And they go up under, a bridge somewhere, and they found a giant piece, like a 7-foot piece of the, polyurethane tarp or whatever it is that was over Tropicana Field. We've all seen the footage of it tattered and torn and ripped all to shreds. Apparently you can't do that. The guy, he was selling, and it wasn't like he was selling them for $100 a swatch. He apparently
swatch.
Yeah. You get those little swatches at the paint store.
You strike me as a guy that would wear a swatch.
Look, not that kind of swatch.
Fact or fiction, you had a swatch.
In the 80s, probably. Yeah. Growing up as a kid, I probably had a swatch to go along with my members only jacket.
You had a members only jacket?
Yeah, in the first grade, man. Those were the thing. 1987 or whatever year that was.
The problem is that, yes, they were the thing, just not necessarily when you were thinking them, because you ain't that much older than me.
There's a divide there.
There's also the fact that you're 7 years behind every style.
That is very true.
As evidenced by your collection of cargo shorts.
You back off. I love my extra pockets.
Yeah, you would.
Can hold all of my things.
Tank dresses like a man that would have many things to carry around because, well, he could be helpful in some way.
I mean, do you have a problem with this? The guy selling pieces of the roof?
I don't care.
I don't feel like that's insensitive.
I don't either.
I actually feel like baseball should take the pieces, put them into cards, and sell those, and a portion of the sales go to Hurricane Milton relief or something.
Does anybody still buy baseball cards?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. That's still a massive industry.
Okay.
I mean, I don't see how. I'm not interested. I'm not interested in paying $60 for a
I got
box
a John
of cards.
Smith. Who is that? I think that's the guy I think that's my CPA. My story is, we're on the holiday season. Christmas, just a few days away. Santa Claus is coming to town. And this is a great time for me as a consistent traveler, many times on an old aeroplane, to warn you about learning things about traveling from the tiki-talk. Does the term seat squatter mean anything to you?
Seat squatter.
It's a new term.
Mm-hmm.
Basically what it is that people will buy tickets on an airplane.
Mm-hmm.
They will wait for the plane to fill up. There's also a board that will tell you what seats are occupied and which ones aren't, because you can upgrade at the terminal.
Mm-hmm.
Well, these people will get on the plane. They'll sit in an unoccupied seat. And, Tank, you have flown with me a few times. I'm a tallman.
Mm-hmm.
So I get upgraded a lot because people feel sorry for me that my gigantic legs are in my throat. So they will upgrade me to a first-class seat or whatever the case may be. Well, these seat squatters have decided that I'm going to sit in the seat. And when they upgrade somebody else, as opposed to having the confrontation of you're in my seat, they will just stay in their seat, and then I get the free upgrade.
Mm-hmm.
That's a great idea until it's not.
Mm-hmm.
And I, Captain Yellow Shirt, I am the one that is not the one you want to be. I'll sit in your lap. Straight up. Like, oh, you want to sit? Cool. You became part of the chair, and here comes 310 pounds of mulletedy goodness.
Yep. You have a chance. You can either get squashed.
You can get up out of this chair, or John Tenta here is about to make you part of it.
So what, they'll just sit there and make you wait until you get bumped somewhere?
A lot of times they will order drinks to the seat in the thought that, well, you surely don't want to pay for my beer now or anything like that. Yeah, I don't care. Get up.
I'll drink your beer.
100%.
I will take it off of that tray
and I'll
drink it and then sit on you.
And then I will cram the can in your ear.
And that is how Jeremy got escorted off by a marshal.
No, I probably wouldn't even I would just, all right, where is the marshal? I can always spot you because you're never well hidden. Hey, let's get a little out to seaty.
Is there one of those on every flight?
A lot.
Yeah.
A lot. There was our flight back from Detroit. There was one sitting right in front of me.
Was there? I didn't pay attention.
Yeah, which is why I didn't show my keister when the flight attendant hit me with the damn drink cart 14 times. Listen, Lance.
I'm so sorry.
I'm asleep. Stop hitting me with that stupid cart. It's 6 o'clock in the morning. I'm angry, and you're making me angrier.
See, this is why you should get a window seat like I do. And
No.
you just snuggle up next to the window.
No, I need the aisle. I need some space. I'm claustrophobic as it is. No. This is in addition to the people taking their shoes off on planes that has now become vogue. Don't do that. That is how you get foot hepatitis.
That's right. And gangrene.
Or footeria.
MRSA. MRSA gets let loose in that cabin. It'll kill us all. Keep your damn shoes on your feet.
I don't want to see your hooves. Keep them in your shoes.
I don't understand why people feel like they are. Why you feel empowered to do stuff.
We did
like
a story on the morning show last week where Ariel was basically talking about there is a subconscious thing that happens to people when they go on vacation, that they actually hit vacation mode as soon as they get through security in the airport. So they start doing things that they would never do before, like start drinking at 9 o'clock in the morning,
Mm-hmm.
taking your shoes off on an airplane, stealing seats and things like that. There is a reason that there are a lot of fights on airplanes.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever seen one of those?
No.
Oh,
no.
So good. So good, because you're like, one of you is about to get carried out of here in a hogtied position that does not look super comfortable. I have seen it more than once, and it does not look fun.
Wow. I haven't done as much traveling as you, so thankfully the flights that I've ever been on have not been that eventful.
I flew in the worst of times after 9/11, and I honestly, that was the closest I ever got to. Maybe I should just drive, because this is pretty terrible. We've gotten better now, but now we also have TikTok, so people see things and go, I should live my best life and lay down in the seat and put my head on this gigantic leprechaun that's sitting beside. Don't do that.
Mm-mm.
That's a good way for me to get up to go take a piddle and you be left in the aisle, because I just go, nope, down you go. We are not going to be friends. We are not going to be pals. We might exchange a few loose pleasantries. That is the best you're getting out of this guy.
You get what you get.
I don't like being on this plane. I don't want to be on this plane. And the quicker we can get off of this with the least interaction possible, the better.
On an Overreaction Monday, Week 15 in the NFL, about settled many of the arguments that were to be had over who was going to make the playoffs. Were there any other outcomes that surprised you from the weekend? Like, did it shock you that the Carolina Panthers got dusted by the Dallas Cowboys?
Surprised me, yes. Shocked me, no.
Yeah.
Look, defensively, that team's awful.
And I didn't realize just how bad.
Oh, they're
until
awful
yesterday.
I honestly, I'm looking down the release from the NFL. There are a ton of guys on this sheet. I don't even know who they are. For Carolina that played snaps yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have a clue who that person is.
Right.
I was encouraged to a point up until yesterday by what I had seen. Bryce was not good yesterday. But I also don't think it changes anything. Rico Dowdle ran all over you. You have no Derek Brown.
Mm-hmm.
It's basically Ashawn Robinson and Josie Jewell and nothing else. You're just playing out the string. If you're Carolina, you want to lose games anyway. Dallas, okay, they get a win. They're 6-8.
Right.
Whoop-de-doo.
Yeah, it didn't really mean much for Dallas. But my biggest question was, is this a massive setback for Bryce Young and the Carolina Panthers?
No.
He was sacked 6 times yesterday. Mm-hmm. He turned it over himself 4 times. 2 interceptions, 2 fumbles lost. It was one of those really bad days.
Well, Micah Parsons ate your lunchbox.
Well, yeah. As you knew he was going to. I don't think that – I feel like there were expectations, right, going into the weekend. The Panthers are a favorite for the first time since 2022, and, we could actually win this game, and it didn't go your way. Dallas came in with the mindset of we are going to shut down the run, and they did so for the first time against a team all year long.
And Gambit, I'm glad you brought this topic up because Gambit said what I was looking for. That whole Bryce better than CJ after all narrative only lasted 2 weeks. I wouldn't be so quick to shut the door on that.
Mm-hmm.
You got to look at what he's playing with right now. Jalen Coker was the leading receiver on this team yesterday. None of you knew who he was. Maybe after the draft, the pre-draft process, because he did have a big Shrine Bowl or East-West game or whichever one it was he played in.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, you never saw him play one snap of college football because he played at Holy Cross.
Didn't he play at Miami?
Jalen Coker?
Yeah.
No.
Oh, okay. I must be thinking of somebody else.
You could be thinking of Larry Coker, who was the coach at Miami.
Maybe that's who I'm thinking of.
Jalen is not Larry Coker.
I was thinking Jalen was a transfer guy.
He might have started at Miami. I don't know.
Yeah.
I know he ended at Holy Cross.
Yeah. There is a serious lack of talent with the Carolina Panthers. And all of the same things still exist with this team. Just because you had a couple of good weeks where things looked like they were turning around, you're still not on that level. And when you face a team that can get after a quarterback like Micah Parsons and the Dallas Cowboys can, you still are at a deficiency with your offensive line. You still have all of the same problems that you always had. They just got exploited a little bit more this weekend.
Just look up and down at who caught passes for Carolina yesterday. Coker, Adam Thielen, David Moore, Chuba Hubbard, Tommy Tremble, Xavier Leggett, and Jatavian Sanders was targeted one time.
Mm-hmm.
Who's the deep threat there that you're actually legitimately worried about? Who's taking any form of pressure off Bryce? There's not one. So you get a coordinator like Mike Zimmer, whose number one goal is to confuse you, send pressure from a place you're not expecting it from. Oh, by the way, he also has the best pass rusher in the NFL. I was actually mad at myself that I got duped on this game because I should have seen every bit of this coming, and I think I got too excited about what we were seeing from Carolina, and I forgot. They're still losing. There are no moral victories here. I think it was Tim Bailey said that on our Facebook page. There are no moral victories in the NFL, and you're right. You're 100% right. So, I mean, I'll cop to that one. I got too excited about Carolina, and I am excited about what I'm seeing out of Bryce Young. I'm really excited to see what it looks like with competent play around him. Because right now I think you have a good 3. I think you have a good 2. You have a nice future tight end. If Jonathan Brooks can come back next year, I think you've got a couple running backs that are nice pieces. The line is okay. It's not great, but it's okay. You need the one. And whether that's T. Higgins or I don't really care who it is. I don't care if you go get Teteroa McMillan in the draft. I don't care. You need somebody that can keep the hellhounds off of you, or you will break Bryce Young. But even yesterday, I saw things that were encouraging with him. There was the bad. 4 turnovers is always bad. But I like the way he's processing the field. And I do still maintain if you would put C.J. Stroud behind this line with these weapons, he would look a lot like Bryce Young, and Bryce would look a lot like him in Houston. One of them's got Nico Collins. The other one has Jalen Coker. There's a difference between those two things.
Yeah.
There just is. And then anytime your defense hits the field, you know there is no shot, no matter who is running on the other side. My dirty little secret of DraftKings all year has just been play whatever running back's going against the Panthers.
Yeah.
I don't care who it is. And if they're cheap, so be it. If they're more expensive than they usually are because they're going up against the Panthers, I don't care. Played Rico Dowdle yesterday. Guess what? Worked out just fine.
Yep. Career high 149 yards rushing for the AC Reynolds grad in his homecoming game back in Charlotte. Dallas beats the Panthers. Panthers, as we all know, still have a lot of things to work on. But you keep losing games. Just keep losing. Just keep losing, baby.
That's what you want, because you want the opportunity to go get Travis Hunter or Teteroa McMillan or whoever it is you wind up drafting. This is a lost season. That's the reason I wanted to mention Bailey's comment, is because that is a really good point. At this point, these moral victories, they actually hurt you more than they help you. You do not want to win games right now. The Jacksonville Jaguars beat the New York Jets yesterday.
On the draft board.
No, in terms of the furtherance of your franchise. Jacksonville losing that game was better for that team than anything that came out of the New York Jets. And there is a reason that you see these total dumpster fire franchises are the ones that do this. The Jets do this every single year. I've watched this for as long as I can remember. They've had the number 1 pick in the draft 2 times in franchise history. I mean, back to the AFL days. They did have it one time back then. They're terrible. They're terrible every year. They're in the top 5 routinely, but they're never at 1. They never get that franchise-altering player. And in this class, there are a handful of those. Yeah, sorry, beating the Dallas Cowboys in December when there's 84 people in the building doesn't mean much. With a coach that's, I mean, in Carolina, you got a coach that will be back. I don't know about the rest of the staff. I think they're planning on bringing Ajiro Avero back, but I don't know that.
Well, I mean, he's going to be up for head coaching jobs again. He'll be interviewed again.
He's not getting a head coaching job. Your defense can't be this bad.
You think
you
ever?
get a job. I'm just talking about this year.
Right.
Look, I would have never thought Brian Flores was getting another job. So, life comes at you fast in the NFL.
He'll get one before Ajiro does.
For sure.
Yeah. The Jets, by winning that game, they're now picking 8th.
Sweet.
In the draft. So congratulations on that. You win another one, you may, get knocked down to out of the top 10.
Oh, don't worry. Another win's not on the bingo cards.
You still got what? The Bills left?
There is one with the Bills. That's the next to last week of the season. They play the Dolphins and the Rams.
Okay, yeah. I think maybe 8's where you're going to stay.
Yeah, like yesterday may have been Aaron Rodgers' last NFL win. Won't we all remember it fondly?
Nah, he's coming back to
I
torture
know
you.
he is.
He's coming back to torture you. You know that.
I know he is. He had a big day with his buddy yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, one of the greatest games of Devontae Adams' career. Yeah, I'm sure he's holding that ball in real high esteem. Hey, you remember that time I had 198 yards against the Jaguars, who had a plumber from Duval defending me? That was fun.
You're in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. We'll be right back.
For the first time again. Introducing the all-new, reimagined Nissan Kicks. With an available Bose Personal Plus sound system that uses speakers in the headrest to create a 360-degree listening experience. You've never heard anything like this. Reimagine your music and your drive. Experience the all-new, reimagined Nissan Kicks for yourself at nissanusa.com today.
Available feature. Bose is a registered trademark of the Bose Corporation.
Cheerio and happy holidays to all. There's two things we Brits do particularly well. It's celebrate the Yuletide season and make a fantastic cocktail. And now, doing both in the proper British way is simpler with Bartesian. Yes, Bartesian! It's the home cocktail maker that's every bit as posh and premium as having your own bartender in the house, without having to worry about providing servants' quarters. Whether your desire is a holiday-spiced old-fashioned by the Yule log or a Clausmopolitan for sipping with your besties, just pop in a capsule, select your strength, push the button, and you're off. Hurry now, old chap, because they're $50 off. Yes, even old Ebenezer Scrooge wouldn't quite be able to turn down such good tidings, made so rapidly and served so well. So turn your holiday party into an event worthy of the blokes across the pond with Bartesian. Add some holiday flavor to every celebration with the sleek, sophisticated home cocktail maker, Bartesian. Get $50 off any cocktail maker at bartesian.com/cocktail. That's BARTESIAN.com/cocktail.
If you or a loved one have been a victim of crime, the North Carolina Department of Public Safety Office of Victim Compensation Services provides programs to help you find peace of mind. We are here to help you apply for benefits that you may qualify for to recover from hardships such as lost wages and medical expenses. To learn more, visit ncdps.gov/4victims. That's ncdps.gov/4VICTIMS.
My friends swim no matter the season, but my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis can sometimes take me out of the moment. Now, thanks to Skyrizi and clear skin, count me in. With Skyrizi, Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy. 3 out of 4 people achieve 90% clear skin at 4 months.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check for infection and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms such as fever, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, or if you plan to or recently received a vaccine.
Thanks to Skyrizi, there's nothing on my skin, and that means everything. Ask your doctor today about Skyrizi, the #1 dermatologist-prescribed biologic in psoriasis, and visit skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI to learn more.
Christmas.
Hurry, they're gonna be up soon.
When families and communities come together in the spirit of peace on earth and goodwill towards men.
Operation Silent Night and Still on the Fence. Okay, we're ready.
At Ingalls, we know that Christmas isn't just a holiday. It's a feeling to embrace all year long. Ingalls, your neighbor for over 50 years.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Not much in the way of heavy rain in the forecast, mild weather, so all the precipitation, even in the mountains, will be rainfall the next few days. Actually, today, probably the best of it in terms of precip. None around, some with the overcast. So not a lot of sunshine, but still will muster up about 58. Tonight, we're in the 40s with maybe some rain showers. Tuesday, some patchy fog with a chance of showers in the morning, then partly sunny, milder, low 60s. Wednesday, a few showers, mid-60s. From the Weather Channel, I'm Ray Stajic.
This report is sponsored by eBay. We all got a thing. Yes, even you. If you love fashion, car parts, trading cards, whatever you're into, it's on eBay. So go find the thing that keeps you up at night. eBay. Things people love.
My friends swim no matter the season, but my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis can sometimes take me out of the moment. Now, thanks to Skyrizi and clear skin, count me in. With Skyrizi Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy. 3 out of 4 people achieve 90% clear skin at 4 months.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check for infection and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms such as fever, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, or if you plan to or recently received a vaccine.
Thanks to Skyrizi, there's nothing on my skin, and that means everything. Ask your doctor today about Skyrizi, the #1 dermatologist-prescribed biologic in psoriasis, and visit skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI to learn more.
Who needs headphones when you have Ray-Ban Meta glasses? The open-ear speakers in these AI-powered glasses let you play music while staying in tune with the world around you. Just say, "Hey Meta," to harness the power of Meta AI. Shop now at meta.com/smartglasses.
From the Ingalls Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart Radio Station.
Live from the Ingalls Studio.
I can't wait to play with myself every day.
The Sportsocracy.
Damn the devil to hell! Let the big dogs eat! Let them on the field!
Come get you some of this.
Fire them cannons! By golly, put more powder in those things.
He couldn't take any more disappointment.
Oh my God, the Jets killed him.
It is the Sportsocracy, and we are live in the Ingalls studio on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, 1400. The Sportsocracy heard everywhere you go on the iHeart Radio app, and we are seen everywhere on YouTube. Just go to thesportsocracy.com, click the live video link, subscribe to the channel, and join us in the chat. It's top of the third hour of the program, which means it's daily draft time. Stock up, stock down from the weekend. Jeremy Green, where are we starting today?
I'll take first pick.
You're taking first pick.
Stock down Detroit Lions.
Okay.
It's not because you did anything wrong.
Mm-hmm.
You're just out of players. And eventually this is going to catch up to you. Because yesterday Josh Allen toyed with you. And I get it. That's the best player in the NFL. That's going to be the walk-away MVP. He messed with you. You couldn't have stopped them if they let you play 15 guys at a time. You could not have stopped them from getting anything they wanted. And it's so unfortunate to me because this team is so good, and I have very little doubt that it's not going to look the same next year. How many times did they sack Josh Allen yesterday?
Oh, 3.
It was none.
Oh, okay.
How many punts did they force yesterday?
None.
One. Sam Martin punted 1 time. By the way, combined, he's punted 15 times in 8 weeks.
That is an efficient offense.
That is a stat that you look at and go, shoo, buddy, that's a super talented Buffalo Bill squad. I just look at Detroit where I always look at teams that are the most talented and the most scary. How many ways can they beat you? They can beat you in a shootout. Jared Goff can beat you in a who's first to 50 shootout. With David Montgomery, I felt like they could beat you in a street fight where they just grind you out and it's low scoring because maybe you're not the over-the-top team, and they do have a culture that has kept teams from really killing them in the run game until yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
That didn't go so hot. And Buffalo ran right at you. Now I feel like Detroit can beat you one way. And that scares me. And it's super unfortunate. Because now the climb for the Lions is much more aggressive than it looked.
Yeah.
Even 2 or 3 weeks ago.
Yeah. All right, stock down for the Detroit Lions.
Ben Whitley asked, how will they fill the David Montgomery role? I have a thought.
That's a good question.
I have a thought.
Do they have an answer on that roster?
The other running backs on that roster are Craig Reynolds, Justin Jackson.
So no.
And then the one I come to, which is Sione Vaki.
Ooh, yeah. There was a lot of buzz for him coming into the season.
I think you're going to see him start probably getting more of a little gadget role.
Mm-hmm.
It's not going to fill the shoes of David Montgomery. I would say that probably falls on Craig Reynolds if I were a gambling man. Vaki's a big cat, though, too.
Mm-hmm.
He's 215 pounds.
That's a big dude.
At 5'10".
You should be able to bowling ball him. Or he should have that in his tool chest.
I absolutely love him. So, I mean, I don't think it's a death nail. I mean, look, they found a way to get a lot out of Tim Patrick. So, that's a creative offense.
Yeah. All right. Stock down for the Detroit Lions. I'll go stock up for the Buffalo Bills. You can't come out of a game like that and not have more confidence in the Buffalo Bills as the front runner to win the Super Bowl. Do you have any idea what their point differential is on the season? I just looked at this. I just noticed this.
For the year?
For the year. I mean, this is in a league where one of the division leaders at the moment has a negative point differential, which is in the NFC West. The Los Angeles Rams are leading that division right now. They have a negative 28 point differential for the year.
They're 11-3.
Yes, Buffalo Bills are 11-3.
So that's like 113.
You're not too far off. A little low though. 135.
That is quite a bit.
Their point differential is 135. It's only second in the league to the team that they beat last night. The Detroit Lions have a plus 177 point differential.
I was about to say, I think Detroit at one time was plus 200. So.
Right. But, I mean, how can you come out of that and not think, this is kind of set up. This is set up to either be the greatest season ever or the biggest letdown ever. Because I don't know that we've been to this point with the Buffalo Bills where we feel like they are the best team in the league.
They're the favorite.
Every year we come into this going, well, they might be able to beat Kansas City. Now you're expected to.
Mm-hmm.
Expectations are hard to live up to.
Expectations are also they can bring the worst out in people.
Mm-hmm.
Look, Buffalo is humming right now. And the most what is the most impressive part of this to you? When you watch Buffalo, your number one takeaway is what?
It's basically the fact that they never get off the field. As long as that offense is on the field, there's a great chance that this could end up – it's probably going to end only one way, with probably them scoring points. I mean, you said what? In the last 8 games, they punted 15 times? That's insanity.
Last 8 weeks. There's a bye weekend.
Okay, excuse me. In the last 8 weeks. So in the last 7 games, they punted 15 times. That's craziness. That's awesome efficiency. And they could hit you in 3 plays, or they could hit you in 15 plays. And it seems to usually only dictate, or it seems to usually go how the game is, because they dictate the game.
The impressive part to me is how they can beat you so many different ways.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so they just beat Detroit with Josh Allen going 23 of 34, 362 yards, 2 touchdowns. 2 weeks ago, they beat the smoke off the San Francisco 49ers. Josh Allen went 13 of 17 for 140 yards.
Mm-hmm.
I saw them put up a graphic of this yesterday when they were talking about the chess match between Aaron Glenn and Joe Brady. And they were explaining the Buffalo offense, and they basically said it is different every single week. They are calibrating this every week to attack the weakness of who they are playing. Sometimes they're a super run-heavy team. Sometimes they're a super pass-heavy team. Against Kansas City, Josh Allen threw it 40 times. One of the most inefficient games he's had all year. They smoked Kansas City. I don't disagree with you at all. Buffalo was a big stock up for me. I already thought pretty highly of them, and I didn't let last week with the Rams change my opinion much. So that was the reason I took the Lions as opposed to the Bills.
Mm-hmm. And then my second pick is going to be a stock down for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Because yesterday was the game plan. Every other team can look at that game plan from the Philadelphia Eagles and go, this is how we beat them.
We got to throw them out of it.
Right, we got to throw Pittsburgh out of this. Joey Porter Jr. is not as great as, many might want his name to be.
You. I remember you just waxed poetic about him during the pre-draft process, and I'm like, I don't know that it's what you want it to be. I knew guys that thought he was a safety.
Mm-hmm.
Like he was going to have to play safety.
I thought he
in
would
the
be
NFL.
best as a safety. I like the way he plays football.
He can't tackle.
But it's just that's not your solution.
If his name was Joey Hampton,
mm-hmm.
he would not be a starter in the NFL, and I firmly believe that.
Right. Yesterday, losing to the Philadelphia Eagles was not a surprise, but it was just further evidence to me of, you've won 10 games this year. Congratulations. I still look at the teams that you have beaten, and you still haven't really beaten a good team. Sure, you got some playoff teams on there. You got the Broncos. You got the Chargers. You got the Commanders. You do have the Ravens. But all in all of those teams have one thing in common. They're one win away from being out of the playoff race. Maybe not completely out of it, but at least on the bubble. Mm-hmm. You give Baltimore one more loss, they're right down there with the Los Angeles Chargers as well. Felt like yesterday was a bad day for Pittsburgh, at least for the view of the Pittsburgh Steelers, because I kind of almost had you in that category of contender tier, but I feel like you took a big step back.
Speaking of people that had a bad day yesterday, I'm going to go stock down Sean Hockley and crew. What exactly would you say the last 9 seconds in Washington and New Orleans was? So, runner goes down at the 1-yard line. The spotting judge stops the clock, does the stop the clock signal. Nobody really could figure out why. Then he winds the clock again, just enough for New Orleans to spike it and score on the last play of the game.
Yep.
Then in the press pool after the game, Sean Hockley basically said, yep, we screwed that up. Couldn't review it. Which is not true, by the way.
The fact that the clock operator stopped it?
Yeah, you can fix clock errors.
Mm-hmm.
Seen it done.
Right.
You can't.
You have to stop the game, though.
Yes.
You'd have to stop the game and say, wait a minute, you need to wind 4 seconds off that clock. Now, but then doesn't that give them the ability to stop the clock where they wouldn't have anyway?
Well, you're going to have to let them set up, and the clock's going to wind. The best of my estimation, you'd have had about 2 seconds. It probably wouldn't have changed anything.
No.
But you screwed it up so inexplicably badly. I mean, do you realize how bad that could have been? If New Orleans converts that 2-point conversion, now we're talking about Washington missing the playoffs.
Right.
That could have been a huge mistake. And just to basically say, we did. Oops.
You go back and look at it. At 9 seconds, the clock stops. 4 seconds ticks off of the play clock, and then they start the clock again. By the time they spike the ball, there were 3 seconds left on the clock for them to be able to score that touchdown. Yeah, it could have been a major disaster.
And Tay had a good point. There's a possibility they would have gotten back anyway. I don't know. There are certain mistakes that you cannot make, and that's one of them. Because even then, if you go back and watch the play, you can see a couple guys for Washington figure out the clock stopped, and they don't know why. And it just creates chaos. There are certain things that you cannot do. All right? If you're an official in the NFL, you cannot screw up the last 10 seconds. Not in super basic. You miss a hold, okay. You're human. I get it. Do I like seeing it every week? No. But these unbelievably god-awful, like, can you even explain why you did it? No. And we're not going to try. At some point, there has to be holding feet to the fire from the NFL here. We have the technology to fix these things. I do not understand why we don't do it. And the next person that tells me human error, I'm going to yell in your face. That is a baseball thing. We do not do that in the NFL. Tay said the Saints found out Jake Haener was not an NFL quarterback. Yes, you did.
I feel like we knew that, didn't we?
There were a lot of people that thought he was. I never saw it. I didn't like him much. I mean, he's fine. He's a third-string quarterback in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
He's not starting games unless something goes horribly wrong. Speaking of things going horribly wrong, I am going to choose to look at the grass is green and say, stock up the University of the Navy with the big win against Army. That's the way football's supposed to be played.
It was
with the
inspired
power eye, with the triple option. Those young men will be great captains and leaders of America for many, many years to come.
It just goes to show you. You dress for success, you're going to win some games.
Those uniforms were fantastic.
They were great. They were, and the whole time watching the second half of that game, I was thinking, you look good, you play good. And they won.
Play good, they pay good.
Navy won the uniform game.
The uniform game. You could never call that game that ever again. As an over-better in that game, I will be 100% honest with you, it felt super weird to go to the DraftKings Sportsbook, throw a bet with a comma in it on over Army Navy. Because I'm not going to lie, my thumb hung over it like, am I doing this? I don't do it. No. Yes. And then I sat in a pool of angina for about 45 minutes going, I need you to score. And then they did.
A pool of it.
It was overwhelming me, the angina.
Mm-hmm. You just let it wash right over you. Then you
sure did take. Listen.
This has not transpired yet, but I'm going to go ahead and make a stock down for Monday Night Football tonight.
Oh.
Because on one side of one of the Monday Night Football games tonight, you're going to get the Las Vegas Raiders, led by
Desmond Ridder.
And then on the other side, you've got the Atlanta Falcons, who are going to be led by
Kirkland Cousins III. Desmond Ridder to me is a lot like a Hallmark movie starring either one of the Camerons.
Mm-hmm.
Kirk or Candace. I really don't care. I'm good. I know how this is going to end, and I don't need to waste an hour and a half on it.
Desmond Ridder.
You want to get your heart warmed? That's fine. I use tequila for that. But
revenge game narrative against the Atlanta Falcons. Boo. That's a game that I just find something else to do. Anything else.
Total minutes of Monday Night Football that you watch tonight.
It'll be at least a few, because I'll probably pop it over just to see how quickly Sammy D, MVP, and the Justin Jeffersons score against the Chicago Bears. But other than that, I could not care less.
I am really struggling to care about a lot of it because I feel like we already know. I've told you before, I'm very fond of the idea of extending to an 18th game, to pull the season earlier. This season has not changed my tune on that, but it has shown me a glimpse into what can be the negatives of that. If you have games at the end of the season that just don't mean anything, that's where we are.
Yep.
I'm looking around going, there are maybe 5 teams that have anything left to play for. Everybody else is just wanting the season to be over.
You're in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville. Stock up, stock down from the weekend that was the Daily Draft, brought to you by Dale's Pale Ale. We will continue after this.
If you or a loved one have been a victim of crime, the North Carolina Department of Public Safety Office of Victim Compensation Services provides programs to help you find peace of mind. We're here to help you apply for benefits that you may qualify for to recover from hardships such as lost wages and medical expenses. To learn more, visit ncdps.gov/4victims. That's ncdps.gov/4victims.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues? Who are you? Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
The 2025 Ingalls Southern Conference Basketball Championships will be held at the Harris Cherokee Center, Asheville, in the ExploreAsheville.com Arena, March 6th through the 10th, 2025. Tickets on sale now and available via Ticketmaster.com and at the Harris Cherokee Center, Asheville box office.
The most common form of treatment for the arthritic joints is normally cortisone injections and gel shots and over-the-counter medications. And most patients have tried all of that and are still in pain.
Every day, Dr. Aaron Wolkoff, a QC Kinetics medical director, meets patients who have exhausted every method to get relief. They've been told surgery is their only option.
They want to stay away from that path, and they come to us almost as the last hope. So we're using our own body's properties to help manage pain, to help slow arthritis down, keep the patients active with no downtime, and get them back to what they enjoy doing. I mean, I love what I do.
QC Kinetics regenerative treatments from our board-certified providers help heal and restore aching joints. No surgery, harmful drugs, or downtime. Call for your free consultation today.
Call QC Kinetics, 828-333-9517. That's 828-333-9517. 828-333-9517.
This is J.W. Whitley, General Manager at Parks Ford of Hendersonville. Our purpose, to improve lives with every interaction. Nominate your Parks Community Hero today at parkscommunityheroes.com. Like Daniel, a veteran who accompanied law enforcement and other veterans to perform search and rescue operations. Like Spencer, who helped build a bridge out of debris to rescue 7 families after the road was washed away. Nominate your Parks Community Hero today at parkscommunityheroes.com. Experience the Parks Promise today at parksfordhendersonville.com.
If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate in the mountains, you need to call the agents at Clarissa Sells WNC, brokered by eXp Realty. Check us out online at clarissasellswnc.com. And did I mention that Clarissa Sells WNC loves teachers? We love teachers so much, we're giving back 25% of our commission at closing. For more information, contact us today at 828-774-6343 or clarissasellswnc@gmail.com.
At Ingalls, whether we're celebrating Friday night rivals, televising college basketball games, bringing the Fan Fest to semi-pro soccer, or taking you out to the ball game at your minor league park, it's all in the bag. Ingalls, low prices, love the savings.
The Sportsocracy.
That is some good, clean family fun there, eh, Cott?
It is ESPN Asheville. This is the Sportsocracy. We are live in the Ingalls studio. And
Did you have a stroke there?
No. I'm just, trying to try not to cough on the microphone. It is the Daily Draft brought to you by Dale's Pale Ale. And so far, stock up, stock down from the weekend. Jeremy went stock down for the Detroit Lions, who lost more players in the game last night, or yesterday afternoon, with the Buffalo Bills. Stock down for Hockley Jr. and his crew, screwing up the ending of that Washington-New Orleans game. And stock up for the University of the Navy as they beat Army.
We know it's not the University of the Navy. Don't send in. I know. It's what Lou Holtz used to say.
Yes, it is. Stock up for me for the Buffalo Bills for winning the game, the shootout with the Detroit Lions, handling that game as well. Pittsburgh stock down for their loss to the Philadelphia Eagles, who the Eagles now have given the blueprint to everybody else to beat the just okay Pittsburgh Steelers. And I went stock down for tonight's Monday Night Football game between the Las Vegas Raiders and the Atlanta Falcons. There was talk earlier in the day that Michael Penix might start this game. Is that still a thing?
I have not heard that.
Is Kirk Cousins still kind of on the bubble here?
Well, I mean, he's DMP old, so
that is very true.
I mean, right now in a foot race, I think he would lose to Tank Spencer. So, and as a man that's seen that run, it's not a good look.
It's not good at all. All right, and then
kind of run like that guy from FBI if he was just not athletic at all.
Yeah, I don't know what that is.
He kind of runs like a meerkat. Like his head's very straight up and his head never moves. We watch this. It drives me nuts. Every time he chases a suspect, I'm like, why do your arms not move when you run? Like that's odd. You just take off and look like a 6-year-old that's wanting to show you that his light up LA gear makes him run fast. Swing your arms.
All right, next stock up for me. You know I have to do it. It's the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. You put up a 40-burger on the Los Angeles Chargers. Now. Maybe this doesn't necessarily mean a whole lot to some. Maybe it's more of the sign that the Los Angeles Chargers defense isn't quite as elite as you may have thought. However, Tampa Bay keeps putting up stats. And I know you rolled your eyes when I said it last week, but that is some elite statage that this offense is putting up. Top 10 in just about damn near everything, offensively speaking, in the NFL. Buccaneers getting the win, taking the division by the horns, basically.
You done?
Yeah.
Okay,
sure.
That's all your team deserved. It's still Baker Mayfield.
It's
Calm
still
down.
Baker Mayfield.
I will go stock up to the Heisman voters. You got it right. Even if Ashton Genty didn't like it. Sorry, Ashton, you play in the Mountain West. Yes, that is going to play against you, and I'm well aware that Travis Hunter plays in the Big 12. I know that. The Big 12 is better than the Mountain West. And I get it. You're putting up elite running back numbers, blah, blah, blah. You did not deserve to win the Heisman. You didn't. You're going to break Barry Sanders' record. Yeah, in probably 3 more games. So, did you really break it? Or is it kind of like a fictitious break? Kind of like when Barry Bonds broke the home run record, and then nobody talked about it for like 20 years. I mean, yeah, if you look in the record book, his name is there. Is it really? Did you know this was the first year we didn't have an SEC player in the top 10 since 2005?
That makes sense.
There was no SEC player. Kyle McCord finished in the top 10. No SEC player did.
Yeah, you didn't really have a good case in the SEC.
I couldn't have come up with one. I mean, because Georgia had 58 players.
Right.
Texas had 2 quarterbacks.
You didn't have that one.
I was trying to think
runner.
even who would it be, and I didn't have one.
Mm-mm.
Did you see the top 10 voting-wise?
No, I did not.
The quarterback at Army finished 6th. Bryson Daly was 6th. Tyler Warren, the tight end at Penn State, was 7. Shedeur Sanders was 8. Curtis Rourke was 9. Kyle McCord was 10.
Why did you even bother voting? What?
Now, Kyle McCord got 1 second-place vote, I feel very sure, from a writer at GoOrange.com,
Mm-hmm.
and then he got 7 third-place votes. Which means 7 people voted him ahead of Genty, Hunter, Dylan Gabriel. And you should not have votes anymore.
Precisely.
But you still got it right. I have 2 picks left, and I have to keep. I will say stock down Mike McDaniels. Can you beat a good team? Do you realize who their wins are against this year?
Not good teams.
They beat the Jaguars, the Patriots, the Raiders, the Patriots again, the Jets, and the Rams when they had no players. That's all you've got.
Mm-hmm.
It is beyond time that we acknowledge Mike McDaniel is not going to be the head coach of the Miami Dolphins in 1 month's time. He may get another shot, but it's not going to be in Miami. That experiment has failed miserably. That team is expensive. That team is committed. That team is getting older, and that team is not getting better.
Mm-hmm.
Did you watch any of Texans Dolphins?
I watched a little bit of it.
At no point did you ever think Miami had a shot of winning that game, because I didn't.
No, because I only turned it on late when Tua threw the 2 interceptions.
I was on it for a good bit, and I never for 1 second thought there was a shot they were going to come back down 8. You're dead.
Mm-hmm. Something that you never would have thought last year, right? As high flying as that offense was.
Do you know who the leading receiver for the Miami Dolphins yesterday was?
Oh, no, I do not. Was it Jonnu Smith?
He was 2. 9 for 48 and a touchdown.
Was it? I can't even think. I mean, obviously it wasn't Waddle or Hill.
Hill was 3.
Hill got shut down, didn't he?
Hill was 3. Waddle had the same stat line that I did.
Ooh.
He had the old Tony Snell, 2,000 or 2 million.
The old Cooper Kupp?
2 targets, no catches, no receiving yards, no rushes, no rushing yards.
No. That's a bad week for that to happen.
The old Tony Snell, 2 trillion.
Yikes.
It was Malik Washington. That was the leading receiver for the Miami Dolphins.
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah.
You're doing stuff. Good
for
you.
It's fun. You're doing stuff down there.
Mm-mm. You should have done better, Coach.
River Craycraft had more receiving yards than Jalen Waddle yesterday.
All right. My next selection here for the stock up, stock down. I don't know. Can I go stock question mark? Because I'm not really sure what to make of the Kansas City Chiefs. I mean, it's the ankle injury that seems like it crops up every year. How many times have you heard, oh, the Kansas City Chiefs are trying to make a playoff run, and Patrick Mahomes has one leg? It feels like that's been the story for the last 3 years. And guess what? They won Super Bowls the last 2. Once again, we've got Patrick Mahomes with one ankle, and they say nothing's broken. He's day-to-day right now. But it's just the same story playing over and over again. Do we have the chart? Do you still have the chart that we did last week? The graphic of you are here? We need to move that one spot over to Patrick Mahomes hurts something and then goes on the run to win the Super Bowl. So this is like a stock I don't know what to think. It could be this is the end of their season because Patrick Mahomes isn't here to save them anymore, or it could be, once again, okay, he's just going to do this with one leg, and it really doesn't matter. And then the final one is a stock down, and this is going to be for all sports movie fans, I guess. I'm not really sure how to qualify this. So you heard that they were making a Madden movie, right?
It's a Madden documentary, yeah.
Yeah. No, they're making an actual movie.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Of John Madden.
Oh, yeah, Nicolas Cage is playing him.
Nicolas Cage is playing John Madden.
I can't.
Which is
figuring out that impression is going to be the masterpiece of my life.
Ooh, the way he. I mean, I don't like Nicolas Cage having to do historically accurate impressions, and I don't like the chances of him doing this well. But they have announced who is going to be co-starring with him in the upcoming Madden movie. Playing Al Davis is going to be none other than Batman, Christian Bale. And actually, if you put their pictures side by side, you can fully see it. Especially if they're going to go super old Al Davis, because we've already seen it. Did you ever see The Machinist?
Yes.
With Christian Bale? He could even do old Al Davis. So it doesn't matter.
That guy is method actor 101.
It's got a lot of range.
For sure.
But I still don't like the prospects for this movie. I think we're all going to be sorely disappointed.
Oh, who are they going to bring in to play Pat Summerall? Kathy Bates? Some questionable decisions.
Casting, yeah.
Do you have another one quickly?
I do not.
Seattle, stock down would have been my final one.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not ready to throw dirt on you yet, but we're getting real close.
All right.
We also have breaking news.
Oh, breaking news.
Who's going to break the news? Who's going to break the news? Who's going to break the news? Who's going to break the news?
I don't know what the spinning hand thing, that was atrocious. You should not do that anymore. This is Ian Rappaport. The Baltimore Ravens have mutually excused Deontay Johnson from team activities, which is a really nice way of saying he has been cut.
Yes. Or San Francisco did the same thing to Devondre Campbell.
Yeah, they mutually excused him, but we're going to suspend you for being a turd, and we're going to try to recoup some of your money.
No doubt. You don't want to play for us? Suspended. By the way, there's that clause in your contract that says we can get that signing bonus back.
Do you remember when I told you when Deontay Johnson was traded to the Ravens, and you went, this gives them another weapon, and I went,
yeah.
I'm not so sure it does.
I mean, it should have.
I didn't think it would go this badly. But am I shocked he went into that locker room and didn't jive with a slew of veterans? Nope. I don't know why this is so hard for people around the league to figure out. Do not try to be second chance you for Pittsburgh Steeler failures. Once Pittsburgh's done with them, you should be too. Because they are a level of crazy that is hard to wrap your brain around. One of them has a Twitter page called CTESPN. Think about what I just said. If Pittsburgh looks at a guy and goes, we're good, you should be too.
Mm-hmm. You're in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Not much in the way of heavy rain in the forecast, mild weather, so all the precipitation, even in the mountains, will be rainfall the next few days. Actually, today, probably the best of it in terms of precip. None around, some with the overcast, so not a lot of sunshine, but still will muster up about 58. Tonight, we're in the 40s with maybe some rain showers. Tuesday, some patchy fog with a chance of showers in the morning, then partly sunny, milder low 60s. Wednesday, a few showers, mid-60s. From the Weather Channel, I'm Ray Stajic.
This report is sponsored by Britt and Tilson Glass.
Hi, this is Matt Burns.
And Bill Britt of Britt and Tilson Glass and Shower Door Company. We want our neighbors to know that we are still here and ready to serve you.
At our new location, 44 Buck Shoals Road in Arden. Text us at 828-469-0600 and online at brittontilson.com.
You can make it a December to remember with Asheville Smiles Cosmetic and Family Dentistry and take the steps to get the smile that you want for the new year. On December 19th, they are having an Invisalign scan day. You stop in for a free simulated 3D scan that shows you how your teeth could look after Invisalign treatment. And then if you choose to move forward with your smile makeover, you're going to receive $1,500 off treatment. It makes it the best price on Invisalign in North Carolina. To find out more and reserve your spot at the event, visit AshevilleSmiles.com today. Again, it's AshevilleSmiles.com.
As we recover as a community, it's important to help each other. Hummingbird Insurance, as always, is offering free assistance to help you navigate your health insurance options for next year. Headquartered in Asheville, Hummingbird is one of the top-rated insurance agencies in the country. Schedule a free consultation to compare plans across multiple insurance carriers. The enrollment deadline is January 15th. We make it easier than hauling water. Visit healthcaresucks.com. That's healthcaresucks.com.
Who needs headphones when you have Ray-Ban Meta glasses? The open-ear speakers in these AI-powered glasses let you play music while staying in tune with the world around you. Just say, hey, Meta, to harness the power of Meta AI. Shop now at meta.com/smartglasses.
If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate in the mountains, you need to call the agents at Clarissa Sells WNC, brokered by eXp Realty. Check us out online at clarissasellswnc.com. Download our free app on Google Play or the App Store. Type in Asheville Home Search. You'll be able to connect with our team and see all the available homes for sale in our area. For more information, contact us today at 828-774-6343 or clarissasellswnc@gmail.com.
This year, we have plenty to celebrate. From reuniting with loved ones, to welcoming new family members, from rediscovering the great outdoors, to perfecting Let's Stay In. At Ingalls, we're so proud to play a part in your everyday adventures and all your celebrations. So here's to taking a pause and taking it all in. Merry Christmas from Ingalls.
When you get tired of freezing your can at the tailgate, maybe it's time to ring in a new season, tailgating season. Wherever you are, whatever the forecast, with good old Dale, it's the perfect way to kick off game day. From Red Cup Revelry to just kicking it solo, you can't go wrong with Dale's Pale Ale, Dale's Light Lager, and Dale's Easy IPA. Honest ingredients, no BS. Drink responsibly, and we'll see you at the Dale Gate.
This is the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville. It is time for the most important message of the day.
Don't do crimes!
Let's go across the pond where crimes have been done. And Jeremy, you ever got real wild at the company Christmas party?
I played the Fifth Amendment.
Okay, let me put it this way. You ever been caught getting real wild at the company Christmas party?
I plead my Fifth Amendment right.
He still won't admit it.
Congruent to not self-incrimination.
I had to sign an NDA because of that. I cannot disclose.
I did a thing at a company Christmas party that I am neither proud of nor do I want to admit on radio.
Oh, my.
Yeah.
That's not very good. I mean, look, when you're hanging out with...
For the moment, it was pretty good. I didn't really enjoy the repercussions of it.
Children don't listen to just Uncle Jeremy doesn't mean anything by it. He just that's just Uncle Jeremy. Don't do as he says. Don't do as he does. Do as he says.
I'm going with Stephen Tao here. Mind your business.
Well, apparently the company Christmas party for Buckingham Palace got a little out of sorts. They had a fight that broke out during the company Christmas party. They say it wasn't technically the company Christmas party. I mean, I guess it wasn't like, I don't know, the palace guard laid down the company. How does that work? Is there a company credit card for Buckingham Palace?
Oh, I'm sure there is. I would doubt the maid had access to it.
The general manager. No, but typically how this goes is like you have the party, right? The general manager comes in with the company card. I know it doesn't happen as much anymore, but things can tend to get a little out of control. 24-year-old maid from Buckingham Palace was accused of criminal damage and being drunk and disorderly, according to police. She smashed glasses and assaulted a bartender during the festivities. Again, it wasn't an official palace Christmas event, but it was a gathering an informal gathering, they say, of the staff. And I have a good feeling that Miss Employee is no longer employed by the royal family.
Sounds about right. That was your story. My story is why I don't drink eggnog at parties, at least the one that I hinted at. My actual story is about Brianna Boston. She's 42 years old, and apparently the actions of one Mr. Luigi Mangione was enough to incite her to act. Blue Cross Blue Shield denied a medical claim for her. So she decided it would be a smart idea to call the toll-free number for Blue Cross Blue Shield and say only delay, denied, depose, you people are next. Well, she's not a very smart criminal because she called from her personal cell phone. So it only took about an hour for the FBI to show up and go, that's communicating terrorist threats. You moron, You will be coming with us. Mm-hmm. You know, there are certain things that I don't feel like I should have to say, but apparently in this day and time I do. Don't do that. If you realize that taking one out, they're replaced with another. It's a vicious cycle. They're not putting one of you in there. Like, hey, you know what? You killed our CEO. You know what? Let's take Bobo the Love Sponge over here. That's an Asheville, Portland Hubo that, yeah, you know what? We thought we'd change things up a little bit. And you'll do the rest of your life in jail. Mm-hmm. She is now being held on $100,000 bail, and they attempted to set up a GoFundMe, and GoFundMe said, I think not.
No.
And took it down.
Not a chance. That's the best part of the whole story.
What, the GoFundMe went?
GoFundMe
I don't
said,
think so.
No, we're not going to let you do that.
I am a big fan of living in a world where the world will sometimes look at you and go, I think not. How about no? Because common sense rules the day. And you're a crazy... Oh, by the way, she had 3 children that are now in government care. because she's a single mom. Can't take care of them from jail.
Yeah.
Maybe think about things before you do them. Just thought. Uncle Jeremy's words of wisdom.
Yeah, the stupidity of people just continues to baffle me.
Uncle Jeremy's words of wisdom.
It never ends. All right, typically this is the time where we do the rapid fire.
Yes.
Of the games that we have not focused on from the weekend.
Oh, rapid fire me, Tank.
Let's go. Bengals and the Titans. Bengals win by 10, 37-27.
Tavondre Sweat was the winner of the day with his deciding to go full Derrick Henry, like, get off me.
Rumble, young man, rumble. 30-yard run. Go ahead.
As a man that has stood directly beside Tavondre Sweat, I am 6'5". I weigh 310 pounds, and he made me look like he could pick me up and burp me. So, yeah, I'm not surprised. Not surprised.
I read that was the longest touchdown by a man over 350 pounds in NFL history.
I could fact check that, but I can't think of one off the top of my head. I mean, he weighs 370 pounds.
Right. It was like he was officially listed at 366, and this was the longest run of a man over 350.
Yeah, I will reiterate, as a man that has stood directly beside him, that big old boy right there is about 3 buttermilk biscuits away from 4 bills. He is a gigantic human.
Talked a little bit about the end of the Washington Commanders New Orleans Saints game. Did it give you pause that the Commanders blew a 17-point lead? Let those Saints back into that game?
Surprised, yes. Washington just is, to me, a team that I don't think you know how to win. And it seems like you make things that should be really simple, really hard. Mm-hmm. Look, you're light years ahead of where we thought you would be, but there's a great chance they're going to miss the playoffs. I started thinking about, and I don't know how it's going to happen because the end of their schedule is not particularly difficult.
Mm-hmm.
But the Saints weren't particularly difficult, and you were one weird play call away from losing that game. I'll also say this, if they do sneak into the playoffs, you are going to get your feelings hurt by somebody in the first round.
Who's going to catch them?
Oh, the Seahawks are only a game behind them. I think that's the only one.
Yeah, that is the only one. It's either the Rams or the Seahawks that are in that race trying to chase them down. They've got a game lead on both of them at the moment. I mean, they play the Eagles next week. I don't like that for you.
Oh, and by the way, Tavondre Sweat did not score on that play.
Oh, did he not?
No.
Or maybe it was just the longest run.
You said that, and I was like, oh, surely he wouldn't have said that if it doesn't sound right. I had to go back and check. He did not score.
Okay. Maybe it was just the longest run of a guy that
The
big.
fact he looked like Jeremy playing with a bunch of 8-year-olds. Like, oh, you think you can tackle me? Watch this. Throw you across the field. Look here, Landon. Go for a ride!
The Philadelphia Eagles are next up for the Washington Commanders, but then they close out against the Falcons and the Cowboys.
Those are winnable games, but they're also losable games.
Could be. I mean, if you're
a playoff team, you will get in on your own merit. If you don't get in, you will have no one to blame but yourself.
Mm-hmm. Lamar Jackson throwing 5 touchdown passes against the awful New York Giants yesterday in a 35-14 win.
Snooze fest. The New York Giants are as bad of an NFL football team as I've ever seen. I don't care about the vote of confidence for Brian Daboll. You have to clean that entire house.
Mm-hmm.
That is as bad as I've ever seen.
Malik Neighbors, 10 catches for 82 yards and a touchdown. The only thing worth talking about for the New York Giants.
Whew. That team is bad.
Texans outlasted the Dolphins, 20-12. Did you ever feel like they were in danger?
No.
No. The end of games, Tua Tagovailoa is probably going to turn it over.
I will say this. I was shocked how bad the Houston Texan offense was. It was putrid. C.J. Stroud threw for $131, and the leading rusher was Dare Ogunbowale with 1 carry for 35 yards. There's something up with Houston. I can't put my finger on what it is. They just look ragged offensively. And I get the line is bad. I know that. But that's not all it is. They just look very out of sync.
And maybe that's it. Maybe the offensive line is the reason. Maybe the timing is all off for C.J. Stroud, and he can't figure it out. He can't, speed up that clock in his head. I don't know.
It's not good.
Mm-hmm. Broncos beat the Colts. Woo.
One of those teams, the Denver Broncos, is getting into the playoffs, and I T's and P's for what happens to you in the first round of the playoffs, because there's a great chance that you're going to get the Buffalo Bills, and you're going to see what a real-life NFL franchise quarterback looks like, because you don't have one.
Mm-hmm.
The Bo Nix thing is he's Baker Mayfield all over again. You catch these unimpressive, uninspiring, they tend to be smaller guys, quarterbacks, and people just latch onto them like you would be bestest buddies.
Mm-hmm.
I don't get it, and I do not get what you're seeing. He was awful yesterday. The good thing for him is that Anthony Richardson and the Indianapolis Colts were awfuler. By the way, why is it so hard for guys to figure out that you have to cross the goal line before you set the ball down?
I don't know.
Are you allowed to take care of yourself? Do you wipe your own keister? Because this is like the easiest part of this game, and you cannot figure it out.
Do we have to put corks on your forks so you don't stab yourself in the eye?
For sure. There are so many parts of this game that are somewhat difficult. That part's not hard, and two different guys, Jordan Battle and Jonathan Taylor, did it this week.
Yep.
Stop that.
I give more of a break to the defensive guys. I mean, that's not typically what you do.
I don't care.
Jonathan Taylor.
If the kicker did it, I'm still going to look at you and go, what are you, stupid? Just run the ball in. If I swear to God, if I was a coach in the NFL, I would have there is no path that ball gets dropped outside. You better be touching the back end line before you drop that ball.
We have a Barry Sanders rule in this locker room.
We hand it to the officials.
No doubt. You will cradle that thing. You will squeeze that thing with all of your might. And then only after you have run out of the back of the end zone while controlling the ball, then you will turn to an official, you will hand it to him and say, I will see you next time, sir. And then walk back to the sideline.
You can set that ball at the feet of Blue, the mascot that's in the back of the end zone, and let him do his weird little pelvic thrust dance. That's fine. If you do it inside the end zone, I am going to throw a ball at you.
No doubt about it. That is football 101. Control the ball all the way across the goal line.
So many parts of this game that are hard. That is not one of
them.
Nope,
it's not. It's an easy checkout for guys, and I don't see how you do it. How rare
it's happened 4 times this year.
How rare scoring a touchdown is for many of these guys. Jordan Battle, when's the next time he's going to get a chance to score a touchdown?
Well, if he keeps doing stupid things like that, it'll be in the XFL for the San Antonio Brahmas.
Right. The Arizona Cardinals beat the New England Patriots 30-17.
I'm not gonna lie. This was the only game in the 4 o'clock slate that I got wrong, and I don't have a lot to say here. When Arizona's running the ball, they're a tough team to deal with.
Mm-hmm.
They have a deficiency of talent that I have talked about before. But, man, you better make sure that Trey McBride and the pieces that you have are hunky-dunky, because that offense could be really, really good in a year.
Mm-hmm. 100-yard game yesterday, 2 touchdowns for James Conner. The Arizona Cardinals have the Carolina Panthers next.
Wow.
Who just allowed Rico Dowdle to go for 149 in that game. Cardinals, run the ball next week. That's your goal.
And preferably do it at 5.1 yards per clip like he did this week.
And then finally, the Packers beat the Seahawks 30-13. Just flexing muscle are the Packers.
The NFC is so funny to me that you basically have 2 tiers of teams that are going to get in. You have the real primary contenders that both have a big but in the Eagles and the Lions. I think all 5 teams that are going to make the playoffs in the NFC are good enough to win a game. I can't say that in the AFC. There's almost no path to me that your 3 first-round losers in the AFC aren't the Chargers, the Broncos, and the Steelers. And the only way it doesn't go that way is if somehow they play each other. Because the Ravens will beat you, the Texans will beat you, and the Bills will beat you.
Yep.
All we have to do is keep you away from each other.
I don't know about the Texans so much. I'm really starting to feel like they're probably the one that's going to get picked off first.
And they could. You know how that would make the most sense? They wind up as the 4th division winner. Baltimore finds a way to win the division. You get Pittsburgh in that first-round game, and we have the grossest 17-16 game in NFL playoff history. Houston gets picked off, and then the Steelers are a hog-led to slaughter against the Buffalo Bills the following week.
Week 15 of the NFL season wraps up tonight. A doubleheader on Monday Night Football. Best of luck to you. 8 o'clock start for the Minnesota Vikings at home at U.S. Bank Stadium against the Chicago Bears, and then the Raiders hosting the Atlanta Falcons in an 8:30 kickoff in Las Vegas. This is the Sportsocracy. We'll be back with you tomorrow to recap all of it. Plus, it'll be a Power Rankings Tuesday and the final live show here from the Ingles studio for the year. We'll be back with you tomorrow on ESPN Asheville.
What if you could hear your favorite song for the first time again? Introducing the all-new, reimagined Nissan Kicks. With an available Bose Personal Plus sound system that uses speakers in the headrest to create a 360-degree listening experience. You've never heard anything like this. Reimagine your music and your drive. Experience the all-new, reimagined Nissan Kicks for yourself at nissanusa.com today.
Available feature. Bose is a registered trademark of the Bose Corporation.
The PayPal app has amazingly low prices for holiday shopping. Get cashback offers in the app, and when you use the PayPal debit card, PayPal stacks 5% more in the monthly category of your choosing on up to $1,000 in purchases. Don't just pay, PayPal.
Hello?
Hello!
Oh, Uncle Nick, I wasn't expecting you for another few days. Good thing my order from Ashley was already delivered. I don't know what I would have done had he arrived before the extra spacious sectional and cozy memory foam mattress. He'd take one look inside and be on his not-so-merry way. Come on in, Uncle Nick.
Ashley is here to make sure you have the furniture and latest seasonal home decor to prepare you for any moment. Visit your local Ashley or shop online at ashley.com for deals that slay.
More than 4,500 wildfires burn across North Carolina every year. 99% of these wildfires are the result of human activities like backyard burning and campfires. That means most of our state's wildfires are avoidable. We need your help. 1. Never burn on a dry, windy day or leave your fire unattended. 2. Keep a water source, shovel, rake, and phone nearby. 3. Have a valid burn permit. You are our best defense. Learn more. Visit ncforestservice.gov. ncforestservice.gov.
Come see the Shadrack's Drive-Thru Light Show at the Tryon Equestrian Center. And back this year, you can pick up your $5 off coupon at your local Ingles store. Enjoy hundreds of thousands of twinkling lights while enjoying classic Christmas music in your car. It's the Shadrack's Drive-Thru Light Show, powered by Stoller Power Solutions.
This is J.W. Whitley, General Manager at Parks Ford of Hendersonville. Our purpose, to improve lives with every interaction. Nominate your Parks Community Hero today at parkscommunityheroes.com. Like Trent and Doug, whose first instinct was to fill their trucks with supplies and drive to the hardest hit areas in those first hours. Like Eric, who hosted the football team to support their neighbors and begin the cleanup efforts. Nominate your Parks Community Hero today at parkscommunityheroes.com. That's parkscommunityheroes.com. Experience the Parks Promise today at parksfordhendersonville.com.
If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate in the mountains, you need to call the agents at Clarissa Sells WNC, brokered by eXp Realty. Check us out online at clarissasellswnc.com. And did I mention that Clarissa Sells WNC loves teachers? We love teachers so much, we're giving back 25% of our commission at closing. For more information, contact us today at 828-774-6343 or clarissasellswnc@gmail.com.
The Sportsocracy.
That's horrible. No, you know what that is? That's horror awful. That's horrible and awful mixed together. Horror awful.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Not much in the way of heavy rain in the forecast, mild weather, so all the precipitation, even in the mountains, will be rainfall the next few days. Actually, today, probably the best of it in terms of precip. None around, some with the overcast, so not a lot of sunshine, but still will muster up about 58. Tonight, we're in the 40s with maybe some rain showers. Tuesday, some patchy fog with a chance of showers in the morning, then partly sunny, milder low 60s. Wednesday, a few showers mid-60s. From the Weather Channel, I'm Ray Stajic.
This report is sponsored by PayPal.
This season, the PayPal app has amazingly low prices for holiday shopping. Get exclusive cashback offers in the app. And with the PayPal debit card, PayPal stacks 5% more in the monthly category of your choosing on up to $1,000 in purchases. Don't just pay, PayPal.
Ho, ho, ho. Hey, Santa, what's with the green suit?
I'm going for a round at Green Man Brewery.
I don't think you have to wear green just to go to Green Man Brewery.
No, but it's nice to get in the spirit of things. They even have a white beard white ale, just for me.
Well then, let's head to the Green Mansion in downtown Asheville. I could use a round too.
Visit me at the Green Mansion, Sunday, December 22nd from noon till 2. Happy holidays from Green Man Brewery.
Everyone felt the impact of Hurricane Helene. At Crossville Studios, they're helping to rebuild what was lost. Right now, get deeply discounted flooring starting at just 79 cents per square foot. From porcelain and hardwood to vinyl, Crossville Studios' wide selection means something for every home and budget. And their friendly team is happy to assist you in the process while you restore your home. Visit Crossville Studios in Asheville at 15 Design Avenue in Fletcher to see how they can help.
From the Ingalls Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart Radio Station.
I went into the locker room after the game.